Get one free on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. Let's go! Yeah, let's go! To the Save a Buck sales event now at Big O. Big O Tires. Woo! The team you trust. Offer valid now through December 8th. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
Is that one of the things in the Matrix where something clicks? Did I just hear that the end of that promo twice?
You did.
Now I feel like the Matrix corrected itself, and all day I'm going to be looking for cats.
Not
the Matrix reference.
I'm
a cat. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's the show. It's a whole show. We're working towards that, where eventually the whole show will just be simply good morning, good afternoon, good night. We'll do all 12 hours. Just be recordings of us. How are you, Jason?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm getting through it. That's for sure. I'm whatever is going around got me over the weekend, late over the weekend. And it's up and down, man. It's whatever. It's honestly, it's one of those where I could 100%, full disclosure, I could 100% be in, but for reasons that are obvious and not obvious, and that's Jason's business. Last person in the world right now I want to infect. Let's see, on my Mount Rushmore of people I don't want to get sick, Jason's number one. Nobody else really. Just Jason.
Thanks, Dave.
Kyle, I mean, I don't want to get you sick either. Okay, we'll put you number two. That's fair. Need somebody in, because we do have a long and deep bench. So
we've got a Golden State Warriors bench here.
What? Oh, I got you. I didn't expect that this early. Sorry. And I see Paul in the chat. I haven't said anything about this, so I'll bury it at 6:02. Just because, look, you guys may have heard. I'll just say this one time, and I'll say it briefly. You guys may have heard last week that the staff at our station got a little lighter, and some friends, dear friends of ours, are pasturing, hopefully greener. Look, it's the first time we've dealt with this since before COVID. So I'll jump out right in front and be a company man and say, the way our company handled us through COVID was, quite frankly, the coolest experience I've ever had working for anybody in radio, in the sense that everybody was able to stick around and stick together through a very difficult time. Radio's tough, man. Radio's tough. It's ups and downs. Think about the real estate business and multiply it times 1,000. It just goes up and down, up and down. And I have always said, and I think everybody feels this way, that especially that's front facing, that we make a contract with all of you. You give us your time And you have a lot of, don't think we don't realize this, you have a lot of options. You could be listening to podcasts with no commercials. You could be listening to God knows anything, watching stuff. I don't want to do a commercial for them and have you go, oh yeah, I should be doing that. And we go back and forth, especially me, and fight with the chat and yell and scream and whatever. But the bottom line is that without all of you, we don't have jobs and we can't feed our families. And in the process of this job, stuff happens, and stuff like that happens. It sucks. And what sucks about that as well is that I don't want to compare this to a life or death thing, because it's not a life or death thing. But there is a little bit of a survivor's guilt going. I've dealt with that quite a bit in my career. Just count the morning people I've worked with. Jason's been here longer than me. He's dealt with that quite a bit. Like we're in the back room going, hey, let's see who's on the board here. Who should stay? Who should go? We have nothing to do with that. I wish we did. And it's, and I'm not trying to diminish anyone's. I think it's wonderful that people get upset when people move on, whether by choice or not. I think it's wonderful in the sense that it's just a compliment to them. And it's also a compliment to our listeners who pay attention and who do fall in love or deep like with people that we work with. That's the point. I would just simply say, if you can, go easy, just because you listen to these people. We work with these people. We hang out with them. We go to Chris's birthdays with them. These are part of our family. And the two that you're aware of that moved on, we still are in contact with, and we care about them deeply, just like you. But these are people we work with. So that's all I'm going to say is that, number one, company guy here, I love the company we work for. I do, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate that they've got to make tough decisions sometimes. Secondly, appreciate all of you. Really do. Really appreciate all of you for caring enough to. Apathy is best friends with disconnect, and I appreciate that you guys tune in each and every day, and that you care enough, and don't think we don't hear you. We do, but that is just the nature of the beast. And that's all I have to say about that. Jason, I started my Thanksgiving prep officially yesterday. Your thoughts?
Okay. What does that entail?
So I now have 2 turkeys that are in the fridge. Also, you and I are both on the same page in the sense that we believe that turkey should come back as a name to call somebody.
Yes.
Stop being a turkey.
Dave, you're a turkey.
I also saw I'm thinking of turkey because I'm thinking of this because Jive Turkey just came into my head. Did you know that the famous scene, we might have talked about this before, but I saw this online again yesterday. The famous scene in Airplane with the 2 gentlemen of color that have tummy aches and are interacting with Beaver's mom,
Barbara Billingsley.
And they are they're speaking a dialect. I'm going to tip here that the flight attendant cannot understand, and she calls in Barbara Billingsley to converse with these 2 gentlemen who are speaking this dialect, and it results in one of the most famous, hilarious, problematic, or all 3 scenes in movie history. The 2 gentlemen that were in the seats got the parts because they wrote the dialect.
Oh, really?
And they coached it. And apparently Barbara Billingsley was approached with the role and basically went, well, what? What do you want me to do? So she went out with the 2 gentlemen and met with them, and they basically wrote her dialect for her and practiced it with her so that she was able to pull that off. Because if you think about people that may or may not speak this alleged dialect that was in the movie Airplane, I'm not putting Barbara Billingsley on the Mount Rushmore of people that do that, which is what made it hilarious.
Perfect casting.
It really was. And it turns out it wasn't, as I think a lot of us originally thought, it wasn't the Zucker brothers that wrote the dialogue. It was these 2 gentlemen that wrote the dialogue, that got the part, probably created the part, if we're being honest. And then trained Beaver's mom to speak it. So, well, Thanksgiving trivia for you. So I have 2 turkeys. It's a process, Jason.
You got to trust it.
You got to trust the process because the turkeys are frozen and they have to now sit in the fridge and defrost for somewhere around 6 months. But we're hoping, it's always stop and start with turkeys because you think you push on the outside and you're like, oh, they're defrosted. And then if you take them out of the wrapper too soon, you put them in the sink, you reach in to pull out all the stuff and, it's frozen, and then you end up running hot water in the neck forever while you're digging out the giblets. Which, by the way, when my son and daughter were 5 and 4, I had them convinced that the turkey neck was something else completely different. It was a great scene. I wish I'd filmed. I pulled out the turkey neck. Think about what the turkey neck looks like. I informed them of what part of the turkey it was. I did not say neck. And they were both incredibly. I said, "Oh yeah, we put that in the gravy every year. It's amazing." And they just absolutely, they didn't like the joke. Nor did my wife. So
scarred for life.
Scarred for life. So you got to do that, but it's a 2-step process, Jason. So we're sitting here on Wednesday. We are 8 days away from serving day. It's going to take probably till Sunday, maybe Monday, for that thing to get defrosted naturally in the fridge. And then once it's defrosted, then I got to brine it. I now brine every turkey I cook. It is a necessary step for me. Got to brine the turkey. And the brining of the turkey, which is a holiday in itself, the brining of the turkey, that's also a book by J.K. Rowling. That will take about 3 days. And then I like to dry it out overnight so that you get extra crispy skin. And then we're off to the races the next day. I told you earlier I'm going to spatchcock one, which means basically you split it in half and flatten it so that it cooks more evenly. And I'm going to smoke that, and then the other one I will put in the oven. But we've started. My sister and I always do this. We've started to nail down the side dishes, of which 90% are the same every year. But every year somebody comes up with some new side dish, and we're knocking those out.
What's the new one? Is there a new one yet? New choice, new selection?
My daughter wants to do a cranberry sauce. Like, look, we're pretty simple people. I've tried a lot of different cranberry sauces, and they're fine. And some are actually really good that you take a lot of time doing. Honestly, give me the can. Give me the can.
Isn't that weird? I don't necessarily have cranberry sauce every year. I mean, it's always there, but it's a low seed if I'm filling up my plate. But if I'm having it, I actually prefer the can as well.
It is strange. It goes in the thing of one of those, like, why do so many people drink ginger ale on airplanes? I don't know what it is, but the big cylinder of sauce in the dish, you slice it up. I've tried a couple years where, like, we usually do 2 or 3 cans. So, like, I did this last year where I sliced it, and then I took the slices and I made like a little pyramid. I tried to gussy it up a bit. People know what it is.
Then it's like Jenga. I'd take from the lower part and see if the tower would fall.
Just a tower of cranberry sauce falling. Yeah. So my daughter's going to make one that involves like cinnamon and orange zest, and which is great. I want her to be involved. We're going to do the green bean casserole. Last year, my sister took over the green bean casserole. It was a disaster, dude. She got all LA with it and foofy, and so she spent his time.
So it arrived late.
It arrived late and left early.
Yeah.
It did leave early. She got fresh green beans, and so she's sitting there breaking cutting the ends off and breaking them up, and she did this cream of mushroom sauce. She wanted to do the whole thing from scratch, make like a gourmet. Her heart was in the right place. She wanted to make a gourmet green bean casserole. And what we learned is, much like the cranberry sauce, just KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. But no, it's canned green beans, not the French style, the regular thick green bean. It's cream of mushroom soup. It's the French onion. The only time all year long anyone, imagine working at the crispy onion factory where 360 days of year, nobody touches anything you do. Maybe you'll get the occasional, I'm going to put it in my French onion soup, or, this will be good on top of an onion dip. But for the most part, I got to think the crunchy, whatever they call breaded onion, crispy people, and it's all, and I think it's the same company. They probably sell 99% of their inventory over the space of a week. It's like Halloween candy or whatever, whatever.
Right.
Pumpkins. So that's it. Just keep it simple. We will do a homemade mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. My brother-in-law always insists on some sort of roll. He's like you. Got to have some sort of roll.
Absolutely.
We'll do rolls. And then a question, and we'll of course take before Thanksgiving. We'll take your questions, of course, your tips, questions, all that stuff. We're happy to field those. But somebody said, "Why?" Peg did in the chat. Why don't you deep fry your turkey?
Huh?
Well, I'll answer this as we go to break. I about a few years ago, I went out and I got the deep fryer. I went and bought the $40 thing of peanut oil from Sam's Club. Took it outside, did the whole thing to make sure nothing caught on fire, the thing underneath it. I did a Cajun version that time. And I deep fried it. And you know what? I did a couple others. I deep fried a couple chickens at some point, deep fried a turkey, deep fried another turkey. You know what? I have nothing bad to say about deep fried turkey. You're not going to hear any deep fried turkey blasphemy here. What I will say is it's not an elevated enough version of turkey for me to justify the expense and effort of doing it when I can just put it on the Traeger, I have one in the oven, one in the Traeger. That's enough for we have about 12, 13 people over. That's more than enough for leftovers. It just, some people swear by it. It's fun. It's good. It's really good. It just doesn't, it's just not enough for me. It's not like the heavens don't part and choir sings and, a little ray of sunshine comes down on the turkey fryer, but, different strokes, Jason.
Yeah, because that's the way we've been doing it the last couple of years. Well, we have two, one in the oven and one on the deep fryer. So I really like of the turkey, which again is the smallest portion on my plate. I will eat the deep fried turkey.
And that's it. I mean, but and look, I'm not trying to yuck your yum. Like I said, I've had wonderful deep fried turkey. Just a lot. You use I'm guessing you use the deep fryer once a year at Thanksgiving. Then it's in the garage.
Yeah, every once in a while we do some more stuff with it with some seafood.
Gotcha.
Like seafood boils and stuff like that,
which you love.
Yeah,
and then you go to the store and you get the big jug of peanut oil. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, go to Jason's house for the fried turkey. We'll throw his address out next Wednesday. In the meantime, we got a show for you. Look, there's no Kings until Friday. No Kings until Friday. So we're going to spend a bit of time this week retrospecting, if you will, looking past, looking ahead. We'll talk a little bit more about Keegan Murray today in the aftermath of yesterday's show debacle of everyone freaking out. We'll see if we can't clear our heads a little bit. And something that's been on my mind for a while in the NBA that I've talked about before, I want to bring back up again as well, as far as how the awards are given out. We had some big games in the NBA last night. There's some football going on as far as moves and shakes and all that. We got a big show for you. Coach Tim Plough will join us off the UC Davis big loss at home. We'll talk about that. Been a long time, to be honest, since the first game of the season, since we've talked to Coach Tim about a loss. We'll also have Kayte Christensen on as well, so I guarantee you'll see MC in the chat, as you usually will each and every day, to be fair. It's Dave, it's Jason, it's Kyle Ledbetter filling in for Christopher Lott on a Wednesday program right here on Sacktown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the three top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number one.
Mobley, Jerome, putback is good, but it all comes too late. And the Celtics survive a furious comeback by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the second longest season opening win streak comes to an end. The final score, Boston 120, Cleveland 117.
All right, we'll get to that in just a second. Kyle, this is my fault. I meant to say this to you yesterday, and we'll just go behind the scenes for 2 seconds here. because I'm out of studio, there's a little place in our program where Kyle can send me private messages. The problem is I'm usually on another page and I'm not looking. So like yesterday, Kyle was sending us, time to take a break messages, and I got him like 3 breaks later, which is on me. And Kyle, I appreciate that you're deferring to keeping things off the air. That's always the right way to go, depending on the personality. With me, it's fine. Just do me a favor today. Just yammer at me when it's time to break, and yammer at me when I have a spot. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to get mad at you for that. That's my fault. I was supposed to talk about my friends at Hoblet there. And that's why you heard that little pause before we went in, but I didn't see the message. And it was also on the rundown sheet, but you're also expecting me to be a professional and read. And that's just not going to happen.
I'll just text you, Dave. I'll just text you on your phone.
Well, that's fine. I just don't want to make you do any extra work, just because I'm a complete and total piece of and can't figure out what from my. That's not your fault, dude. So.
No, I get it. We'll just do it after our leading off sounds.
Okay. Did you have to say all that on the air, dude?
I mean, this part, yeah.
What I did, yeah. Jason, I watched that Cavs Celtics game, and it's kind of weird how it works in a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope this makes sense. I am more bullish about the Cavs as a contending team now after their loss than I was before that game. They are a really good team.
What's funny is when I was watching it too, that was almost my prediction of my thought of what you would say, because I didn't think you were really a believer at all. And then the way they played, the chances they had, I thought, Dave's gonna be high on these guys now, or higher on these guys.
Higher. No, you nailed it. I was really, really impressed. You can tell just by looking at how they play. And it's really the first time I've had an extended look at Cleveland this year, which is probably a big reason why I was being a little ignorant to who they are and what they're doing. And we talked about this before. They're a streaky team. They were a streaky team last year as well. This just so happens to be at the start of the year, but I don't care where in the year it is. A 15-game winning streak's a 15-game winning streak. But you look at this team. Kenny Atkinson is just nailing it right now. They are well coached. They are deep. They were missing a couple of key players last night, key guys that are glue guys, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And Boston jumped out. And this was part of the reason I think I did gain a lot of respect. Boston jumped out, and they had a nice lead in the first quarter. They stretched it, I think, at one point to 21. And towards the end, not only the Cavs cut it to a one-possession game in the final minute plus, but there's an idea that Donovan Mitchell probably should have gotten a flagrant foul call for Jason Tatum going in for that steal, bloodied his mouth. It would have been a questionable flagrant, but the problem that there's a question there is my point. Not saying they would have won, not saying the game got stolen from them. It didn't. The Boston deserved to win. But I found myself watching that game going, wow, this would be a fun Eastern Conference Final series. I think Cleveland, as always, barring injury, I think this is a team that's here to stay. They're very good.
Well, and styles make fights, like we always talk about, and the fact that they've got a good backcourt, and then they're just long in the front court. What Mobley and Jared Allen can do, maybe as a counter to, when Porzingis is there, it'll be a little bit different for Boston. But still, there's some size things that they can do, especially defensively, and how mobile they are. Cleveland's good. They're really good.
How about Al Horford, dude?
Yeah.
Al Horford is
trusty, reliable.
Just
remember when Kings fans, I don't know, it was 5 years ago, people were talking about Al Horford. He's too old.
Yes, I do. I probably was one of them, if I'm being honest.
You might have been.
38 years old. He'll be 39 in March. I want to say that was, God, Jason, was that? I think that was around his Oklahoma City year, wasn't it?
When the Kings were talking about him, or it might have been the year he went to Philly, actually.
God.
When he became available, went to Philly, and there was rumors about the Kings, and then he went back to Boston, and yeah.
When he was 33 years old. Yeah. Once again, by the way, this is a guy who up until, let's see, this is from your Brooke Lopez archives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. His first 8 seasons, he averaged 1/10 of a 3-pointer made per game. And then all of a sudden, in his 9th season, he jumped his attempts up to 3, then 5. Now that's kind of where he lives, around the 5 range, making about 40% of them. Just another big. And, it's kind of like what we hope is going on with Sabonis right now, that really adds that into his arsenal. And let's be honest, that 3-pointer has extended his career, combined with his solid defense. I'm old enough to remember when Oklahoma City sent him home in the middle of the season. And like, we're basically giving up on the year, and now it's not helping, and we need to start some youth. That was years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about that game as well. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Well, unfortunately, that's the nature of our league now, right? It's coaches and play callers on both sides of the ball aren't making it through a season. There's just not a lot of patience anymore in the league. It's get this guy out of here. Unfortunately, what happens, and I really mean this, is a lot of it is rinse and repeat under the guise of brand new scheme, brand new approach. And that's the way the league is going too often. There's not the patience to go, listen, I believe in X, this person, this scheme, this coordinator, this player, and we're going to weather these storms because it's going to make us a mentally tough group or a mentally tough person. Yeah. And we're going to get behind these people. And this is, I don't care what you have to say outside the building. This is what we're going to do.
What am I hearing? Jason, are you hearing it too? I'm seeing your reactions.
Oh, it was the background of McAfee, I think.
Oh, yeah. It was? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a clip from McAfee after Sala got fired.
I gotcha. Okay. Well done, Kyle, on that, because that was after Robert Sala got fired, and here we are. Hugh Douglas has now been fired. I don't necessarily, Jason, in a vacuum have an issue with the GM and the coach. If you want to go for a complete reboot, let the GM pick the coach is generally the rule of thumb. But this is just the tale of Woody Johnson. It is just such a terrible thing, whether you're and not all these guys are on the same level, by the way. Some I like more than others. But when you are a John Fisher, Mark Davis, a Jerry Jones, a Woody Johnson. I mean, I'm sure we could come up with another 6 or 7. You've got this group of owners. And again, John Fisher's the worst. Don't get me wrong. I want to like Mark Davis. He just is inept. When you have these owners, and as fans, you just know that the only way you're going to succeed is either if the owner has an epiphany and just decides to not be involved anymore, or if they back into success, if they just stumble back into it. And again, the owner is good enough not to meddle. And the Jets are a perfect example. Woody Johnson has no idea what he's doing. Woody Johnson is terrible at the job. And if you're the New York Jets, let's get political for a second. If you're a Jets fan, you were probably voting for Donald Trump to win, because if he won, which he did, the odds are heavy that Woody Johnson is once again going to be assigned to the United Kingdom, which he did once before for 3 years. And his younger brother, Chris, will take over the club. And you only hope that the step up is not Woody Johnson. So Woody's probably in his final weeks. He's most likely going to get that post back again. And if you're a Jets fan, you don't care about the politics. You just want Woody Johnson out of there, and he's not selling the team. So there you go. It just sucks, man. That whole thing could not have gone worse.
Yeah, what a surprise. The Jets are a mess.
Yeah. Which is weird, because you thought they were going to be really good this year, Jason.
Yes, just like everyone else.
You were on the Jet bandwagon.
Yeah, totally.
Was you or me? Was it me? It might have been me.
Yeah, it might have been you.
Oh, you were the I was the Jets guy. You were the one that was on the Timberwolves bandwagon when they traded for Gobert.
Exactly.
Cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
2 tie downs and a wingback. Genty behind Matson. Crow now moves over to the left side. Handoff Genty. Genty up the middle. Genty into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night. The hat trick for Ashton Genty.
Well, The playoffs are coming, Jason Ross. The college football playoffs. Yeah. Are you excited?
I am. I mean, I really want to see what this looks like as far as the 12 team. You got 4 with a bye, and just, we kind of have the same issues we had before with the 4 team. It's just extended out. Will a 2-loss or a 1-loss SEC team get in? Now I think you move the goalpost to 2-loss teams. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this looks like. It's the closest version we've had to kind of the March Madness at college football's level. So I want to see what the 12 team looks like.
I am excited. It's going to make for some pretty good viewing. And as you and I always say, doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter what's going on. If it pulls you to the TV more and makes it more interesting to watch, I'm going to have a lot more fun watching these actual playoff games. By the way, Boise State has now moved into bye country in the top 4. I am going to be far more interested than a meaningless, no chance at a national championship Oklahoma versus Florida in the Pull-and Weed Eater Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is going to mean a lot more, and I'm excited to see how fun it will be. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Cleveland falls to Boston. They are no longer undefeated. Also, another great matchup in the Western Conference as well from a team that we talked about in the preseason. We'll get to that in a second. Right now, let me get to Jeep and Ram Adventure Days. I should say Ram Power Days, Jeep Adventure Days at my friends at Hoblet, right up there in Woodland, just a 5-minute drive from the airport. Over 200 vehicles are available, guys. Under $20,000. Over 200 vehicles. If you're looking for a used car, there you go. But you got your new ones as well. You can save over $13,000 off MSRP on all new 2023 Dodge Charger. Combine that, their FXTs. Starting as well as 28,215. You want a Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe? Yeah, get that gas mileage, if you will. Save up to $16,500 off MSRP on those. Other dealers are marking their prices up, especially on the most popular vehicles. There's zero dealer markup on the most popular Ram and Jeep models at Hoblet. They're family-owned, family-operated, no hidden fees, no add-on, no surprises. Part of the reason why they've been a J.D. Power customer first dealership since 2019. Search, select, and save at hobletdodge.com. And tell them your good buddy, Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll get into the NBA next.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
All right, let me tell you about my guy over here with Gonzalez Law. He is right here in downtown. It's the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez, and he's one of us. He's in our community, and he's here to help you. Here's the situation. We know that the holidays can be tough for a lot of people, and I don't want you to be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season. And a way you can kind of clear that past up is with an expungement. It can help you get that job you've been seeking. It can help you get your constitutional rights back. That's what an expungement is for. That's what it can help you with. And he's offering discounts on expungements right now through Christmas. To find out more, call 916-304-9187 or check out saclegaldefense.com. Now, there's other ways that you may need help if you're seeking some legal advice. I would suggest, again, the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez here in downtown Sacramento, whether that's for an auto accident, a wrongful termination case, sexual harassment case, whatever the case may be, and you feel that you need representation. Make sure you got someone that you know, someone that you trust, someone that you can believe in. He's local. He's not one of those commercials that or lawyers that you see on TV. You think, I can call that number, I'm going to get to that person. That's just not the way that works. Those are big, huge companies, and you're trying to get a connection, feel like someone you can trust. That's why you want someone here local that's had great success. Again, go to saclegaldefense.com. That's the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Breeze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Time to gear up. It's the Black Friday and Gold Saturday open house event at Roseville Power Sports. Located at 360 North Sunrise Avenue. We're your home for the best deals on Can-Am side-by-sides, ATVs, and Ski-Doo snowmobiles. Now's the time to save thousands on a brand new Can-Am or Ski-Doo. And check out the all-new Can-Am Maverick R with an incredible 240 horsepower. A Maverick R is built to conquer any terrain, bringing unmatched power and excitement to your off-road adventures. Plus, save 30 to 50% on accessories, helmets, jackets, gear, everything you need to ride in style and safety. This Black Friday and Saturday only. And it's not just about the savings. It's an open house event you won't want to miss. Join us for food, prizes, and more this Black Friday. So head to Roseville Power Sports this Black Friday and Gold Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And let's kick off the holiday season with incredible deals and tons of fun. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. Offers valid on 2024 and prior product while supplies last. Happy holidays from Roseville Power Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Quick segment here. Coach Tim Plough joining us next. We'll talk about the UC Davis Aggies falling at home in a wild ending to that game. And also, Jason, they got a pretty big game coming up here.
Yeah, pretty significant game. The 70th annual Causeway Classic on Saturday.
Wow. Are you going?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I will be there. Come rain or shine. Might have some rain on Saturday.
Not going to lie. I'm going to probably break out my split jersey for this one again. I know we shouldn't believe in those, but when it comes to Sac State, UC Davis, we got Coach Tim Plough and we got Scott Marsh on one side. And then we got you, and the fact that I'm just going to be honest. If you put a gun to my head, made me pick, I'm picking the college with Sacramento in it. Like Davis isn't Sacramento, it's Davis.
Right.
It's kind of Sacramento, but not really. I think if you ask Davis people, I ate at Woodstock Pizza there on Friday, and I was reminded as we were driving in how much I don't like Davis at all. Just not a fan. Okay. I'm just not a fan. There's too many bicycles.
Oh, it's the bikes. Bikes that did it.
It's just the whole vibe. I don't. Some people love it. I don't. I always feel like I'm going to hit someone in Davis. I don't like driving in Davis, and I don't like driving in Roseville with all the stupid turnabouts, the circlies. I'm not good at those.
The roundabouts, the circlies,
the turnlies. I'm just constantly worried I'm going to hit somebody, and that probably says more about me than it does about Davis, which didn't hurt it. Davis didn't hurt anyone. There's just
it definitely does say more about you.
Yeah, there's just too many bicycles. Just I don't know what the rules are. I just want to go, and I've got 50 bicycles crossing everywhere, and then there's no parking. And
just don't hit all of them.
No, right? Like, can I hit some of them? Like maybe just a bunch? I don't know what the deal is. Anyways, so shout out to Davis. Love that town. Sac State, not Sac State, Jason. San Antonio. Sorry, it started with an S. San Antonio is intriguing to me, and they've been intriguing since before the season started because they have when we talk about like yesterday, untouchable players. They have the untouchable player. They have Victor Wembanyama. He's maybe one of 3 or 4 players in the NBA that are true blue, untouchable players. Victor Wembanyama, of course, is who we're speaking of. And they had, I don't want to call it a showdown because the Spurs were 6-8 going in, but a little bit of a southwestern showdown, if you will, with Oklahoma City, who was 11-3, top of the pops in the West. And this was not only a victory for San Antonio, Jason, but a victory that was a lot closer than it was most of the game. The Thunder outscored the Spurs 27-17 in the fourth and really got it close there towards the end. But the lead story on this one, other than the Spurs winning, and not other than the Spurs winning without Greg Popovich at the helm, as he continues to recover from the mild stroke he suffered, but also without Victor Wembanyama. They were missing some pretty literally huge pieces, and they were still able to come up with not just the 6-point win over Oklahoma City. They moved to 6-3 at home, and they are 7-8, 15 games into the season. I will ask this in 3 for Madness, Jason, but I think San Antonio is officially on the come up here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what a couple games they played without Victor. So they lost the first one, then they win this one against an even better team than I think the first one they played was against Dallas. So impressive. Look, anytime you win a game without one of your best players and their most important player, that's telling, especially for this young group that's got that sprinkling now of veterans with Barnes and Paul. Yeah, they're not going to be easy to beat any night, and so they're we'll see how dangerous they become as the year goes on.
Yeah, and Harrison Barnes, by the way, finished with 20 points, including some pretty key late threes. So good to see him. I root for Harrison Barnes. Good to see him doing well enough in San Antonio. We'll take a break here. When we come back, UC Davis head football coach Tim Plough. First time we've talked to him after a loss since game 1 when they fell to the Cal Bears. So we'll talk to him about that game. We'll talk to him about the future as well, the Causeway Classic, and so much more. Always fun with Coach Plough. We'll do that right after this.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. Black Friday is on its way at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, and there's no better place to shop for all your power tools. tools. Low price Makita Bear tools starting at $89. Makita batteries starting at just $49. And many more of the year's hottest deals. November 25th through December 2nd. That's right, one whole week of crazy deals on power tools. So don't forget, our Black Friday sale will be November 25th through December 2nd. Check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road or online at fastenersinc.net.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery Hammer and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Keep the cargo in your truck's bed dry and protected with a bed cover from TruckSmart. Bed covers that fold up, roll up, and lift up are ready to install on your truck. Turn your vehicle into a hauling machine. TruckSmart truck and SUV accessories in Rockland and Auburn.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, and other offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
We're back. Welcome in. Without further ado, we got a lot to talk about, Jason.
Yeah, we do.
We got a lot to talk about. Now, as we said before we went to break, it has been a while since we spoke to Coach Tim Plough after a loss. In fact, it has been exactly since the opening game of the season against Cal. No one's going to no one's going to hate on UC Davis for losing at Cal. It's a tough matchup. That's a tough game. Just like nobody's going to hate on UC Davis for losing to Montana State. That was crazy, as we talked about on Monday, Jason, because you had so many different things going on. That Tyson Paul fight, or whatever you want to call it. You had the night before, you had the UFC the following night. I think you had a Kings. There was a lot of stuff going on, and here I am on my phone watching this game, jumping up and down, because that last 6+ minutes was absolutely insane. Hopefully his blood pressure has recovered as we go to the mayor of Shredville, Coach Tim Plough. Coach, it's Dave and Jason. Good morning.
Boys, how we doing?
Good. I mean, I think we're I'm recovering from the Coach. Was that I've been waiting to talk to you. You almost pulled it off. That last 6+ minutes of that fourth quarter was insane. It was almost like, I don't know if you ever played Super Mario Brothers, but when Mario ate the star and became invincible, just everything was going nuts. It was all shaping up. You fell just short, but I imagine the issues you have with the game are one thing, but you were at least proud of the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I mean, like I've tried to say, hopefully we don't have a lot of losses to talk about. But when we do, I think the thing I've tried to communicate is that I don't want our guys to feel like they need pats on the back. I don't want people to have to feel like, oh, you guys hung in there. Because we want to win. And that like any game, we made mistakes that cost us the football game. But I am always proud of our team because of how resilient they are and how much belief they have. And that felt like a real Aggie pride moment where, like Coach Soker used to say, we're never going to stop playing when we're ahead, and we're never going to give up when we're behind. And they didn't. I mean, they have a unique belief that they can win any game. And they made that really, really scary for the Bobcats there for a little bit.
Yeah, Coach, how about that last 7 minutes then? Obviously, you scored early, and then that gap in between, it was tough sledding for you guys. What was different with the execution in the last 7 minutes that made it basically come down to a 2-point conversion, where if you get that, I think a lot of people think you end up winning that game?
Yeah, I think the interesting part for us and where there's value in the game regardless of the outcome, and why we got to detach from the result is that, our guys have not played in a lot of games like that. They just haven't been in games that are so meaningful and are so important. I mean, it's a playoff game, to be quite honest, a playoff atmosphere. And I just think that it took our guys too long to come down from that. And I think there was definitely some inexperience and guys trying to do too much. And so we just had a lot of out of character mental errors, which I take full responsibility for. And I got to do a better job preparing them for that. But I think once they calmed down, and to be honest, it probably was, we're down by 3 scores. I know I told the team, hey, I've looked at the game plan. I don't have a play that scores 22 points. So we might as well just, take it one play at a time here. And I think they just finally relaxed and started just playing their game. And then, it's kind of like a wave, like we talk about the Shredville offense for a long time. Sometimes it just feels like a wave. And once it starts going, the tidal wave keeps rising. And then one guy makes a play, another guy makes a play. And all of a sudden the other team feels like, oh my gosh, we can't stop these guys. And our defense had played well all game, and they kept us in it. And then finally the offense got some momentum, and it was wild there for a little bit.
UC Davis coach Tim Plough with us. A couple things. Number one, maybe not to tell you how to do your job, but maybe work on that 22-point play. Secondly, you said something interesting, and one of the many reasons I enjoy having you on, Coach, is that there's no ego here. You're always very open and honest with us, and I really do appreciate that. You said I have to do a better job at preparing them for a game like that, for situations like that, and I'm honestly curious. How do you do how does that work? What didn't you do?
I think what we talked about as a staff is I just believe that I can't create the environment, right? Like I can't create the atmosphere of the game itself because I can't get 20,000 people to come to practice, and I can't bring Montana State to practice. So what I can do is I can create intensity for them in the sense of they feel like every play matters at practice, the way that every play matters in the game. And we try to do that every week as a staff, and we try to hold the guys accountable to that. But I think it became clear, especially offensively in the game, that just the speed of it and the intensity of it, our guys I don't think mentally we're prepared for it. And so we can't really get that type of experience. The last 2 weeks to play at Montana on national television and then play at home against arguably the best team in the country, we can't really buy that kind of experience. So I do think both those games will help us. But man, I just wish anytime we like I told the guys, anytime we lose a game, I should be the one that everyone blames or looks at because there's something I could have done. And then anytime we win a game, I think the players deserve all the credit because they found a way in the game to get that done. So I think when I look at that scenario, I just first look at, dang, we could have done a better job as a staff getting them ready. And I think that we're excited to do that. We're excited that we have more football games, hopefully, to try to do a better job at that.
Well, the immediate one you have in front of you is an easy one to get yourself ready for, the players ready for. It's a rivalry game. We know what it means to the region. You were a player there. You've been an assistant. Now you're the head coach. And the other part about getting your players ready, Coach, I'm for you. You're coaching against a friend, or you've called Andy Thompson family, basically. So this game's got to be unique for you in the fact that it's a causeway. You know what it means, but also facing Andy Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first part about the causeway, I just, I love UC Davis football, and so I love all these meaningful games. I love the game against the team down south, and I love the game against the team across the causeway. I know how important those games are to our alumni and to our students and to our players, and so anytime I've been a part of this game, it's been meaningful. So I'm very excited to be walking out there leading the guys into such an important game every year. And then with Andy, I just we've all been through a lot as coaches. We've all had some really high highs and we've all had some really low lows. And when you meet someone that becomes so close to you and your wife and your kids, and I mean, he's Uncle Andy to my son, so I think it's really cool that him and I have worked so hard to both get in positions where we're head coaches and 20 minutes down the road from each other. And I know, like I said, I root for Andy Thompson more than any coach in the country every single week, except for 1 week. So it'll be fun to compete. It's always fun to compete against his teams, but it's really not him against I. Luckily for me, because he'd probably, if we played basketball or something, he'd probably take me out. But I think the nice thing is it's just our team. So preparing our teams to play well, and I know he'll do that. So we got to do a good job.
Last thing for you, Coach. It has been part of the fun of watching UC Davis this year has been our conversations and then seeing them play out, wondering what we're going to talk about the next week. And I was thinking about the fights as I have ever since you brought that up. And it's funny. There was a UFC fight Saturday. I know you do boxing. Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. And Oliveira was beating his ass for 4 rounds. And Chandler's got huge power. And in the 5th round, Chandler caught him a couple times. And you left that fight. We're jumping up, screaming, watching it. Oliveira kind of got him to the ground, rode the timeout. You're thinking, God, if there was only one more round, Chandler might have won the fight. And then I started thinking of the classic Richard Steele reffed Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez when Chavez was undefeated. And Chavez did get, he did get the 2-point conversion. He did win in overtime. And I started thinking about the lessons through boxing that you could take from that. You may very well see these guys again. And I wonder if part of gaining, as you say, from a loss and lessons is that I think UC Davis proved they can not only hang with that team, but you could beat that team. I got to think those players would love to see him again pretty soon.
Well, not that I wanted to lose the football game, but
right.
I knew the game was going to be close, and there's a reason I picked Holyfield Bo, because I know that Holyfield fought Bo again, and it went differently. So. That was a little bit of planning on my end. So I hope that I know our guys really hope to play him again. I know in 2018 we got our doors blown off by Eastern Washington by 100 points, I think, and then we played them 4 weeks later in the semifinals, and it was a lot different. So I think it's hard to beat a team multiple times in a season, and I think we gained some great experience. But I also know that, like I told our guys, like, we can't let Montana State beat us twice. We need to make sure we focus on ourselves this week and improving the things that we did not do well, because I know the head coach on the other team, and I know that they're going to be extremely prepared and ready to play. And we've worked really hard to get to this point, and so we need to play our best football on Saturday, and hopefully get back on the right track here. And hopefully that sets us up better for postseason football and puts us in a position where maybe we can take a run at this thing.
Well, there's a reason I go by Carmichael Dave, because I'm, from Carmichael, which is Sacramento. As you know, it's a suburb. And when I was 4 years old, my dad asked me, where do you want to go to college? And I said, well, of course I want to go to Sac State. Fast forward to my senior year in high school, Rio Americano, and I filled out my application. And at the very end, where you had the essay portion, I wrote my essay, and then at the bottom, I drew a picture of me holding hands with the Sac State Hornet. And I sent that in, and about a month later, I got my reply, and it was the entire admissions staff. They were all CC'd on the reply that they sent me. and it was just 3 letters, LOL. And I was crushed. And I don't know that I've ever gotten over that. I know we're dealing with family here. I know, look, it's Sac State. I still root for them, but Coach, you know what to do. You know what to do there. Okay.
Well, as usual, I need these pep talks because I haven't really known what to tell the team this week to get them excited about this game, because Lord knows they're probably not excited at all. And so I said, hey, now I can talk to them about the real reason to get excited is if Sac State's treating our guy Dave that way, then we need to make sure we defend his honor and get after these boys. So I appreciate, as usual, just the added motivation. And but man, I'm excited for the game. I got a lot of respect for Andy and his team, and I know that this will be a battle, as it always is. Throw the record books out, and it sounds like, as usual, it's going to be in an atmospheric river, and we'll be ready to roll.
All right, Coach. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you after. Can't wait to hear what the fight is as well. All that good stuff. We're always with you from Shredville. So appreciate your time as always.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys, and let's find some joy this week, even at the expense of the team across the causeway. All right.
That's right. You take care. That is Coach Plough. We'll take a break. I never told you that story, did I, Jason?
No, it's the first time I'd heard that one.
You know, you're my guy. You're my brother in arms. Love you to death. But Causeway Classic week, it's a different story, man. We'll take a break when we come back. Well, hey, we'll dedicate this segment to every fan of a team that is not doing great. Just be thankful you're not a New York Jets fan. We'll talk about the latest there right after this.
2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the award-winning online learning program.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Designed by education experts, ABC Mouse seamlessly aligns with what your child is already learning in school. And with over 10,000 learning activities and more than 850 lessons, it's an engaging and comprehensive curriculum. More info at abcmouse.com/radio.
I have been teaching for 13 years, and I've never seen a program like ABC Mouse. It encompasses science, math, reading, social studies.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fit fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right. Still got a big show remaining thanks to Coach Plough coming up at 9 a.m. Her new time. It's Kayte at 9. And we will talk to her about all things Kings through this much of the season. Surprised we haven't seen MC yet. I expect him to roll in here shortly.
Hey, Cal.
Hey, Cal. He is might be Katie's biggest fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness. So we'll I'm sure we'll get an MC appearance in the chat shortly. Remember, you can also appear in the chat as well. Just go to YouTube. Please do subscribe, hit the thumbs up. That's what they tell us to say. And enjoy yourselves. I see Mark and Paul and all the normals, Dwayne, AB, everybody in there. Shout out to all of y'all. And if I didn't say your name, it's just because I'm reading the page in front of me. John, Richard. Also, you can text us at 916. God, I always want to say 441140. 916-339-1140. And Jason, the New York Jets experiment is officially a failure as they have fired GM Hugh Douglas. That is shortly after they fired Robert Saleh. What'd I say? Hugh? Who's Hugh Douglas?
Former Falcon linebacker, I think.
Oh my God.
Or Saints, maybe. I think it's Falcon.
They fired former GM Buster Douglas.
Eagles. Yeah, that's right. Eagles. Buster Douglas.
Also the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they fired their GM. And that's shortly after they fired, hopefully, future 49er defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. I think a lot of Niner fans would be just fine with that, as they have basically and can we hire Robert Saleh back and sign him to like a 10-year deal and just, you're not allowed to go anywhere, dude. Sorry. This is why do you want to go and coach some lame team and everybody gets angry at you, and just stick with Kyle and run our defense, please. Because honest to God, if Robert, no offense, but we've been on this Steve Wilkes, whoever else plug and play bandwagon really since who's the Houston guy? Why am I forgetting?
D'Amico Ryans.
Thank you. It was solid. D'Amico Ryans got really lucky there. And then, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. But Jason, I'll give you full credit. I bet you didn't. I'm sure part of my bite was, I'll admit it for sure, was a little leftover residue from Hard Knocks the year before.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stand in front of myself this way. This defense was good, consistently good, between Quinton Williams and Sauce Gardner and the whole makeup. That was the only redeeming quality of the Jets. You had Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and then Aaron Rodgers comes in, and you go, okay, well, they've managed to do this, and this with a guy like Zach Wilson, who, no offense, just at least not yet, isn't an NFL quarterback. You add in one of the greatest of all time, Of course they're going to do better. Aaron Rodgers has carried teams seemingly with lesser talent with the Packers to the NFC Championship before. So I'm thinking, okay, everything's together here. I can't blame Douglas and the rest of that staff for doing what they did. But, God, it didn't work out, and this is a disaster.
Yeah, and I think the narrative when they were 7-10 last year was exactly what you said. Get a healthy Aaron Rodgers and another year at it, and they will be better. I guess my thought then was I didn't disagree with the overall premise, but I think when some were saying this is a Super Bowl team or could be, I just thought that was too much of a leap. One, in their own division, were they going to be better than Buffalo? Are they better than Kansas City? Are they better than Baltimore? These are teams already going into the year. I just didn't think they were better than. And then, who else would be a surprise? Now, the Jets, I think, are a surprise in the negative way.
Yeah.
But it started pretty early, not even necessarily the opener with the Niners. I thought they played okay in that game, but some games they gave away. And then now they're just playing from behind, and they keep losing some games that it feels like, all right, this is the week they're going to get it jump-started, even when they added Devontae Adams. I mean, all the moves they made, I think, made sense. But it wasn't Saleh. I'm sure it's not Douglas, like you said. And now it's what's next? What are they going to keep doing? Another reboot this offseason and try again?
That's what it's shaping up to be. That's, as a matter of fact, excuse me, I think it was, apologies if I'm wrong, I think it was Diana Rossini of The Athletic who reported that Woody Johnson, the owner, actually, there was a contentious meeting in which he actually brought up benching Aaron Rodgers because it just wasn't working out. And he got quite a bit of pushback on that, which you can kind of understand. Like, you can't bench Aaron Rodgers unless you were just openly saying, hey, we're punting on the season, which I'm not saying is a terrible idea, but that ain't going to work. It's so funny, too. You mentioned the Niners game, how we always talk after week one, how you just can't tell. You think you're pulling certain things from certain games, and you just really can't tell until later in the year what it means. Now, I watched that game, and the Niners won 32-19, and I came away thinking, all right, Niners are just keeping it rolling here. But, I thought that game was a little bit closer. The 13-0 second quarter the Niners put up was the exact difference in the game. The rest of the time, the Jets played them exactly even. So I'm thinking, all right, the Niners are going back to the NFC Championship, but the Jets, this is their first game with Aaron Rodgers. They're showing something. And it turns out that game did show us something, that the Jets were terrible and the Niners were sure as hell not as good as, excuse me, a lot of us thought they were. And here we are right now with the Niners on the brink of, having to punt on the season if they lose a couple more games. And the Jets, as you said, they're just heading for another rebuild. They're going to draft another quarterback high and miss on that probably. It's a terrible situation there.
Yeah, what's weird about Rodgers, he can still make some of the throws that have made him, the Hall of Famer that he is, but it's just the consistency of production. I mean, he hasn't been getting the 300-yard games. It was I think the year or two, we had 2 straight years of MVP play as the end of his time with Green Bay. So it's not that far removed from that. And he just hasn't been that guy. I mean, he's really hasn't. And that's kind of maybe been the biggest surprise to me is I don't even know if it's a full fall off. It's just the production, the impact hasn't been what I think the Jets expected from him.
Let me just throw a fun one out since this is sports talk radio. You have a choice next year. You're John Lynch, Jason. Aaron Rodgers, you have an opportunity to get Aaron Rodgers for a conditional 6th-round pick, and the Jets agree to pick up the rest of his salary. You basically pay him the minimum, and you get him at 40 years old, or you give Brock Purdy $60 million over long term. What do you do?
Brock Purdy.
Any choices? Any hesitation?
Not really.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I agree with Jason. It was Brock Purdy. Didn't even think for half a second.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're both right.
Because Aaron Rodgers is not as good as Brock Purdy. So if the argument is like, oh, Brock Purdy would be more expensive in the long run, sure, but like Aaron Rodgers is just like the 24th in QBR this year. He's taken a bunch of sacks. He's just not a good quarterback.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking, the logical path of what everybody has done is what Brett Favre did, right? He went from Green Bay, had the great time, went to the Jets. That was kind of a weird year. Then he bounced to the Vikings and actually had a couple of amazing seasons, including them. I don't know if that would be the case, but his time with the Jets for Rodgers has not been obviously what he thought it would be.
So where do you go if you're Aaron Rodgers? What do you do now? If they're going to completely rebuild, that means you move Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be a market for Aaron Rodgers. There's no doubt about that. Just do you go out this way? Do you work your whole way back from the Achilles, the whole thing? And are you done at this point?
I wonder if they'll actually do the reboot. I think they'll do another run at Rodgers.
Yeah. I think that would be the smart thing, I think.
Yeah. And just keep Rodgers, keep what they've got, and see if they can work around the edges, change the coach, and see if that's the difference for one final run for Rodgers.
If not for Aaron Rodgers, just go to the other locker room next door. I hear the Giants need a quarterback.
Woof. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. The king that could have been, perhaps, the San Antonio Spurs with a big win and a big loss in the world of tennis. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, calm down, everybody. I'm not saying that freaking Niners should grab Aaron Rodgers. Dear Lord. It's a stupid sports talk radio question. We got 4 hours. I asked, it was answered. I agree. Brock Purdy's the guy. Pay him. Just please not $60 million. Please find a way to, it's kind of like in radio, Jason. Can we give him a salary and promise him endorsements? That never happened.
Yeah, maybe he's getting him.
Yeah, he is. God, I need his agents, man. My goodness. He's got his Toyota endorsement. Isn't he selling? No, he's not selling spas. Who's the one?
John Deere.
Yeah, right. John Deere. Dear John.
Was he the one in the Applebee's commercials with Dan Campbell?
Yes, I believe he was. I think you're right. Brock, Brock doesn't need. Come on, Brock. Just keep. We'll give you $5 million. That's fair.
That's fair.
$5 million. You don't need more than $5 million, right? He can buy all the Toyota Tundras he wants.
He can survive on that.
Yeah. All right. 3 for Madness. We'll survive on that ourselves. Question 1, please.
Question 1. Dalton Connect of the Lakers had 37 last night and is averaging 24 points a game over his last 4 games. I think I might know your answer. Did the Kings miss on this one?
Stop editorializing, Kyle. Maybe. It's unfair because the draft pick hasn't played a single game. But I think it's fair to, again, I want to go back to this thing. It's like a little one of them brain worms in the back of my head. Did the Kings know that Carter that he was injured? What was the extent of their knowledge? It's like we've swept over this. And if only we had access to the general manager, who probably, if I'm being fair, probably would not answer the question. But I'd really like to know, did they know he was hurt? Did they know the extent of the injury? Because even, Jason, even if Devin Carter ends up being the new version of, I don't know, Marcus Smart, I think we'd all take that. We'd all love the pick if that was the case. You are hurting in depth this year. You've got as we've documented, 4 guys playing a crap load of minutes. Well, they did until they got hurt. And now you got a guy in Carter who is shelved, at least it seems, until the All-Star break, if not after. His rookie season is almost certainly going to be a complete wash because you got to, hey, welcome in, rookie. It's the stretch run, and he's going to have to fit himself in. I think a lot of us were looking at Dalton Connect coming down the pike, a guy that would probably spell your Kevin Huerter replacement if that's the way they decided to go. And I don't want to get all crazy because if you go back through his game logs, there's a lot of single-digit games, but the last 4, he's gotten playing time. You saw what he's capable of doing. He did it at Tennessee. I look at that. I hate the fact that he went to the Lakers, and I can't help but say, look, I am a tried and true Monty McNair fan. No matter how frustrated I am with this team, this is a team that is contending for the playoffs. They're above 500. This is, for those of us who've been through it, we know we'd rather be here than where we've been most of the time. And Monty McNair deserves a ton of credit for that. But I do think about Davion Mitchell over Alperen Şengün. I do think about the fact that Tyrese Halliburton fell to them. Credit to them for drafting him, but come on. I do look at a lot of that and the imbalance and go, are we just rolling over this a little bit too much? Should Connect have been the pick? And I just really don't know yet. It's an incomplete answer, Jason.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny is its timing is everything, right? That was a name that was mentioned for certainly with the Kings. And if we're going off of last night, his best game as a professional, of course it's lopsided. He's way ahead of Devin Carter at the moment, but I'll even go back to maybe one of the more famous drafts that frustrates everyone here when the Kings took Bagley. We all know that was a mistake. They could have taken Luka, blah, 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 blah. Well, later in that draft was also Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Right.
Like, did other teams make this? You got to let this go. You got to let it play out. You got to let it see. But right now, yeah, it's lopsided. Dalton Connect's having a better start to his career, but who's having a better start to his career than even Dalton Connect is another guy the Kings could have taken was Jared McCain for the Sixers. He's been having a great start. So there's always going to be players like that, but we haven't seen Carter play yet. So got to wait and see, and also probably wait more than a year or two. Honestly, it's a bit unfair, but that's the way we do it, and we'll see where it ends up. But yeah, Connect's off to a good start.
Local boy Jared McCain, by the way. Also, it's also worth a future conversation too. Let's say Devin Carter does come back, and we don't have time to do this right now, but I do wonder this. Okay, let's assume Devin Carter works out and is very good. Whose minutes is he taking? Like, how are you working that one in, Mike, when you now have 17 two guards? Ones and twos. What are we doing there? Are we trading people? I guess, like Davion for a bag of chips to Toronto, and he's starting there now. I don't know. I'm just being that guy. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
All right. The San Antonio Spurs beat Oklahoma City without Victor Wembanyama or Devin Vassell last night. Are they officially an up-and-coming team now?
Florida State's Devin Vassell, thank you very much. And yeah, I think they are. They're a game under 500. That's a big win over Oklahoma City, which was missing a piece or two, but so was San Antonio. And they're missing not just players like Victor Wembanyama. They're also missing Greg Popovich, and those aren't shoes to step in. Those are giant boots to step into, and the Spurs are doing a pretty decent enough job, which just speaks to the culture there, whether they're championship contenders or lottery contenders. There's that culture there that never goes away, and that's the Greg Popovich culture. This is a team with the unicorn of unicorns. If you put all the unicorns in one unicorn mountain, there would be one unicorn that stands above all unicorns, and that is Victor Wembanyama. And he didn't even play last night. I think the Spurs team, as the year goes on, again, as always, assuming there's health, I think the Spurs team, as I said to start the year, and I'll wear this if it doesn't happen, I think they're going to be a sneaky play-in contender. I think this is going to be a tough out each and every night as the Kings experience themselves, and I'm rooting for them. They did it the right way, and yes, part of that right way was once again lucking into the number 1 pick for a franchise generational center, but you can't blame them for their own luck, and it's not like the NBA is going to rig it for one of the bottom 3 markets in the NBA. They just have fantastic luck, but it's what you do with the luck. They didn't overthink it. They didn't draft Marvin Bagley instead of Victor Wembanyama. They did what they were supposed to do, and I do think they're one of the up-and-coming teams in the NBA.
Absolutely. They're already there. It's 15 games in. It's early, but they're right there on the edge. I mean, they're pushing everybody. I mean, there's a little separation at the top of the West, a little bit, but then there's a group of teams that a good week, the Spurs could be in 5th. I mean, so they are right there, and they've got a generational player and a great coach when he comes back. So, yeah, they are clearly an up-and-comer.
Number 3.
Question 3.
All right, Rafael Nadal has retired with his 22 Grand Slam titles. Where do you rank him all time?
Well, Jason, you're going to answer this better than me. You're a far bigger tennis fan than I, but I did grow up 80s and 90s watching the golden age, at least for my generation of tennis. I would say let's start with he is the greatest clay player of all time. You talk about his Grand Slams. Let's see, 8, 12, I think 14 of those 22 are French Open wins, which is, of course, on clay. But you got 4 U.S. Open titles, 2 Wimbledon titles, 2 Australian Open titles. The guy has been, if it wasn't for guys like Roger Federer and maybe a little bit of Djokovic there, he has been the most dominant player in tennis for his generation. 135 million plus on the court just in prize money alone. And I stop at times like this and I go, you know what? Let's step back and be human beings. This guy has made, what I say, 135 million. You could probably add another 400 or 500 million in endorsements to that. So he's got the better part of $500 million. He's 38 years old. He's a good-looking dude. He's now got the rest of his life in front of him of walking around the beach shirtless somewhere in Spain, living in his mansions, traveling the world, smelling like some sort of amazing cologne that we can't afford. It's a good life for Rafael Nadal, and he's certainly going to go down not only as a Hall of Famer, but I think easily a top 10.
Oh, yeah. And since 2003, we've had Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic in some way, shape, or form. And now Djokovic is still playing. Djokovic has the most Grand Slams ever, followed by Nadal, followed by Federer. My personal favorite is Federer, but I always wonder if these three, I'm sure, elevated each other's games. But imagine if we just picked one of them and the other two weren't around. How many more are they? I mean, they crossed each other out so many times. And if they're clearly, so it's Djokovic 24, Nadal 22, Federer 20, then Pete Sampras at 14. So, they have had, what is that, between them, 66 titles. And I don't know that anyone's getting 40 of those or 50, but what would they have done without the other two? It's an interesting argument, but my personal favorite would be is Federer, number one. That's just my own taste. But probably Federer, Djokovic, Nadal to me is the order I would do it.
Which is so amazing because we just got done with this. You go back a little older and you go, okay, well, how would they do with Lendl, Connors, McEnroe, Borg, Sampras, Agassi? And I better than I just, and by the way, I'm not even getting into like Arthur Ashe and the generation before, but it's just I don't know how to rank these guys. Because I think tennis, as much as any other sport, maybe golf. No, more than golf, because tennis is far more athletic. Whereas in tennis and golf, you have scientific advancements in equipment. In the case of tennis, it's really just rackets. The balls haven't changed. Rackets, maybe shoes. I don't know. But you also have health supplements, all the science behind it that's different from somebody who played in the 50s and 60s. Much like with golf, you have all that, the balls, the clubs, everything. We're never going to know the answer to how would McEnroe and Federer have done against each other when they were both 23 years old, and either McEnroe had the benefit of Federer's health and equipment and training, or vice versa. You throw Federer back in the 80s and have him play with the same tools that McEnroe did. Tennis is one of those, it just seems so difficult to rank because science is such a big part of the advancement.
Yeah, and and then even looking back at some of those guys that you're bringing up, like Agassi or Connors or McEnroe won 7 Grand Slam titles. There's nothing wrong with that, but like that's way less than these other guys. I mean, it's not even close, and it's really amazing.
It is. It is. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a generational thing or not. You're far more into tennis than I am. It's kind of like boxing, man. Like I will forever be haunted by the question, is tennis and boxing not as good as it was in the late 80s and 90s and even early 2000s when I was regularly watching HBO Fights After Dark and pay-per-views, when I was regularly watching Wimbledon on a Sunday morning and having my mom make us strawberries and cream just so we could be all British and weird. Is tennis not as good and is boxing not as good as it was? Or is that just it's the same thing with baseball? Is that just a generational thing when you're a young teenager or you're 10 years old and you're wowed by it? Would 12-year-old Carmichael Dave be as enamored with the Nadals and Federers and Djokovic's as he was with the Michael Changs and Andre Agassi's and Pete Sampras's?
Yeah,
I just
fair
don't know.
question. Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, state of the NBA, including Draymond Green calling somebody too emotional. We'll look at the West as well, and the Sacramento Kings, where they stand both up and down. We'll do that next.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and it's going to be a wet and breezy day today. Expect to have rain developing and then sticking around throughout the daylight hours and in through the night tonight with southerly winds upwards of 15 miles per hour, gusting between 20 to 30. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
When it's cold and rainy outside, Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a full furnace tune-up, just $59. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
Well, we have entered the holiday season, and this is truly a time to be thankful for what we have and grateful for who we have in our lives. And right now, we all have access to the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, and they are truly appreciative of you as their customers. And that's existing customers, or maybe you'll become a brand new customer like me. Now, they are stuck with me. I'm committed because I know a good thing when I see it. And to show their support for you and for me and for all of us, the Overhead Door Company wants to show you their appreciation of how thankful they are for you and offer you $25 off your annual garage door service. That includes garage door service and repairs like garage door spring replacement, cable repair, new rollers, hinges, or just general service. Now, they are a terrific family-owned and operated company with third-generation owners that have been serving our area for over 70 years. That's commercial or residential, new doors or repairs to existing doors. They are here to help you and make you proud of what you got. So with quick and easy installs and friendly professionals, you get the best return on investment for homeowners. So go to their showroom and see for yourself. Check out their website. It's ohdsac.com, or give them a call at 916-421-3747. The Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare. With Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow, you can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sacktown Sports.
I'm just here to let you know. Oh, Bobby Caldwell, the late.
Yes, R.I.P.
Bobby Caldwell, one of the great YouTube rabbit holes of all time. Showing the Bobby Caldwell video, which starts with him under a streetlight that is not on, and he sings the first few notes, and then the light comes on and shows Bobby Caldwell as, well, I'll just say it, as a Caucasian. And there is a YouTube rabbit hole I highly suggest you go down of people who have either never heard the song or never.
What?
It is one of the funniest things to see their reactions on their face when it shows Bobby wearing this I don't even know what kind of hat it was, like a little fedora with his little beard, and everyone's going, what the hell? That's not one of the all-time, oh, I didn't think that's what he looked like, singers of all time. And Jason, no offense to his career, but I'm gonna call this a semi one-hit wonder, because I don't think anybody listening right now can name without searching another Bobby Caldwell song. This is in the Cutting Crew / Johnny Hates Jazz / Chumbawamba Mount Rushmores of all time one-hit wonders.
Dave, I know you're gonna love this, but I was today years old right now when I learned that Bobby Caldwell was in fact a Caucasian man.
Look, don't feel bad, dude. You are in fact, I guarantee you there's people listening right now going, wait, what? Yeah.
No, I'm stunned. I thought you were making a joke, and I looked up, I'm like, oh.
Nope.
Wow.
Go down, if you get some time today, everybody, just go to YouTube and just type in Bobby Caldwell reactions, and you'll laugh. I do promise. Welcome back in. It is Dave. It is Jason. Kyle Ledbetter, who you just heard. He's filling in for Christopher Lott, as Chris is on his fishing trip this week.
Started today.
Well, what's he been doing Monday, Tuesday?
Took a couple days off.
I wonder what Chris did on his days off, other than text us angrily.
Yeah, I think he ended up having to do some work.
We have Draymond Green audio. Is that correct? Yeah. This is him referring to Taylor Jenkins, who I always mix up as the late, great drummer for Foo Fighters and Alanis Morissette's touring band a few years ago. Taylor Jenkins, the coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. And yeah, Draymond had a few things to say. Go ahead and roll that tape there, Jason Ross, about Coach Jenkins.
You got Janky Taylor Jenkins. Who's a softie. Bro, this game 11, you run into the media crying about a foul that, come on, bro. So guess what you just taught your 7'3" rookie? How to be emotional and run to the media talking about a foul. We big. We big men. You don't run to the media talking about a foul. You a big man. He's supposed to protect Ja Morant. You set him up to where Ja Morant don't be to protect him. He's big enough to possibly have fooled people that he could be a little tough. And now nobody believe you. Now Joel Embiid gonna try to put his chest into the stanchion just to see I think he might be a little soft. Ooh.
Yeah, they gonna try him now. Everybody gonna try.
Okay. Not going to spend 20 minutes on the hypocrisy of Draymond Green. It's just, and I've said before, yeah, exactly. I actually think Draymond's a very entertaining podcaster, even and a lot of the times he ticks me off. And by the way, that's really a lot of the job in this business is to get engagement and get passion going. He does a very good job at that. And I also like the way he breaks down a lot of the things from the inside. And I also respect that he is a 4-time NBA champion with a Hall of Fame career, whereas I have never played a minute of basketball. So I want to respect, regardless of how I feel about the guy, who I will say this about Draymond. I had this thought over the weekend when I saw the Zach Edey clip. And I thought, and again, people are going to jump all over this. I'm just being transparent as a fan. There's one player in the history of sports that I actually was fine with getting injured, and that's Vontaze Burfict. I always say, don't root for injury. Doesn't matter. Does not matter how you feel about the player. Never root for injury. That's garbage. And I'm not there with Draymond, but I'm closer with Draymond than any player, I think, since Vontaze Burfict. And it's not out of a spite thing or how I dislike Draymond. It's that, dude, he's going to, and he has, like, I love the way he plays in the sense of hustle, defense. He's an incredibly smart player. I don't care what you say about Draymond Green. He's a hell of a smart player. But every single year, dude, he does something questionable, or not even questionable in the case of Zach Edey. The Sabonis thing, kicking 17 people in the ding dong, all the stuff he's done over the years, and it's never him. It's part of the game. He's being abused by the media and by the refs. And if I'm Taylor Jenkins, that's exactly what you do. You're talking to the refs, but you're also talking to the media because the people in the front office, they don't like this stuff. Joe Dumars doesn't like this stuff. And yeah, they're going to see the tape, but when the media gets a hold of it, it becomes a whole different thing. And yeah, Draymond Green deserves to be under a microscope every single game. And he has done the opposite of earning the shadow of a doubt, if you will. It should always be biased against Draymond Green because he has multiple offenses. He has a history of doing this stuff, and it's not part of the game. It's not funny. It's not sending a message. Dude, it's dirty. He's a dirty player.
And when he in the past did get suspended or whatever, I remember he would say, like, that's, I'll just pick Harrison Barnes just because he's like the opposite. Like, Harrison Barnes wouldn't have gotten that. You're right. You're right, because of the past, because of the what am I looking for? Your history. And also, the other part of it is the reason they do suspensions is they don't want them to happen again. So they have to keep growing them if you continue to do it. So if it was a 1-game suspension for you and me, but if it's a 5-time offender, well, that all of a sudden turns into, obviously, 1 game didn't do enough. So now let's give him 5 games, 8 games, whatever the case may be. He is looked at differently because of his past, his reputation. That was the word I was looking for.
Reputation. No, you're right. And this is a guy that was suspended indefinitely to go get counseling. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's, again, all respect to the career, all respect to the titles. And I'm not going to lie. There are plenty of times where I have sat and I have shuddered at my own brain when it says, God, we really could use a guy like Draymond Green on the Sacramento Kings team. I don't know how I'd reconcile it. I think the wins would help, but it's the dirtiness that gets me, dude. And that Zach Edey thing, just like that Sabonis thing, it's just the little bits of dirty in there in the heat of the moment. That and the thing is that I think the psychology of it, Jason, is different. You know who else had that same issue to a point? DeMarcus Cousins. But here's the difference. I think you can understand in a competitive atmosphere that sometimes in the heat of the moment, there are some people that have a tougher time controlling themselves in the heat of the moment, and then off the court or field are completely different. They would never do that. But the difference with DeMarcus is DeMarcus didn't that didn't show up as dirty plays. That showed up as DeMarcus running his mouth and saying stuff and getting teed up and making the refs hate him. With Draymond, he does all of that too, but also bitches about the refs, does the dirty work. It all comes into play in the heat of the moment. At some point, you have to say, dude, it doesn't matter if it's the heat of the moment or the cold of the moment. You can't do that, dude, especially to, you got a guy in Zach Edey, 7'4", rookie, just coming up in the world. You want to throw an elbow in his gut in the middle of, down in the paint because he's getting a little tough with you and you want to send the rookie a message. I don't have a problem with that. You want to lasso his ankle and bring him down in a situation where he could have very easily been injured. That's wrong, Jay.
Clean it up, Draymond.
Clean it up, Draymond. American Energy here in a second. We'll get to the West here in a little bit. In fact, we'll move this to the next segment. Want to talk about the Keegan Murray issue a little bit. We got a stat for you there that is kind of an eye-opener, and also something the NBA should do that I've been bitching about for a year now that I just want to bring back because De'Aaron Fox made me think of it. In the meantime, you should bring back American Energy to your house, if you will, with I see the people on the chat line saying it. They're right, Jason. Chris is about to go out on a boat. The weather.
Good luck.
Great. Yeah. Seriously, Chris, wear a life jacket, please. Be safe up there. It is not going to be great weather. The rain is just starting to sprinkle down, and it's probably going to stop raining maybe in about a week. In the meantime, the temperatures are falling, and American Energy can help you make sure that your whole system is ready to go for the winter. And, oh, by the way, ready to go for the summer as well, which, as we know in Sacramento, is right around the corner always. It's a $49 tune-up, regularly $119. And right now, if your system is 10 years or older, that tune-up is free. Why would you not want something for free that's going to help you? Just get it out there, if for no other reason than to get the free tune-up. Oh, and by the way, I said tune-up, not tune-up. By the way, that's, again, Chris gets. Also, if you need a new furnace, they're going to give it to you for half off. If you need a repair, you get $50 off that first repair. They're doing everything they can to help you out. And on top of that, they're great because they are family owned and operated. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. They have the A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 now. Or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. What the NBA needs to do that is incredibly obvious and could hopefully help out a guy like De'Aaron Fox get some more awards. Also, the Keegan Murray issue, one thing that may really highlight why the Kings are not using him correctly so far this year. Maybe for a reason, maybe not, but certainly something they need to start doing with him. We've got all that for you right after this. Sorry. Gotta wait for the thing. The welcome back guy. No?
You okay?
Wasn't he supposed to do the I was waiting for the welcome back to the show thing? Did he already play that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We had an issue during the break where I couldn't hear, so forgive me. Forgive me, as I always say. Welcome back, Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. No Christopher Laud. That's Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass. And Jason, I just want to bring this back up. They were showing a stat during the Celtics-Cavs game yesterday. And it was Jason Tatum in second place in the NBA in total points. And he was a few points back of a guy named De'Aaron Fox, who you may be familiar with, plays for the Sacramento Kings. And it just made me think, and we have this conversation now about a couple times a year, brought it up last year. We've been chasing Adam Silver on this program for about 10 years now. At some point, Mike Bass of the NBA, who I've emailed with about 50 times, hopefully will relent and we can get Adam on. And I swear maybe not the first question would be like, how are you? But then after that, my first real question would be, I need someone to give me a logical reason as to why we use averages in the NBA instead of totals in the NBA for awards, especially when you have such an issue with load management and guys playing minutes and playing full games and all that. Just imagine for a second, and this is what I always say in this argument, in the NFL, if Tom Brady led the league with 51 touchdowns, but Lamar Jackson had 0.2 more of a touchdown per game, so we're giving him that title. Or the home run leader's Aaron Judge, but over 100 games played, Fred Smith actually had more per game. Imagine if we used per game in baseball and in football, yet for some asinine reason I can't understand, we use per game averages in the NBA. Point steals, rebounds, assists, block shots. Jason, what am I missing? And please feel free to embarrass me publicly here if it's obvious. What am I missing as to why what is the argument against going to totals for the awards?
I don't know what the argument against it. Well, the argument against it, I guess, and this is a terrible argument that I'm throwing out because wouldn't be mine, but it's the first answer I could think of. It's because we do it this way, Dave. Right? I mean, but to your point, I don't know this for a fact. I'm sure I could figure it out. LeBron James, don't we consider him the all-time leading scorer in NBA history?
Yes.
I'm almost certain he's not the average leader.
Oh, I promise you he's not. In fact, yeah. It's either Wilt or Michael, I think.
Yeah, Kareem maybe, whatever. Yeah, but it's not. And LeBron's great. He'll be a top 10 probably.
Sure.
I guess, but you're right. So for all-time totals, we don't do averages at all. We might add that on like, hey, he averaged this amount during his career, but has this many total points. I don't have a good answer for that.
I don't, and by the way, we nailed
Besides,
it.
It was.
So Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain are both the greatest scorers of all time if you go by average. They both average exactly 30.1 points per game. Now, I imagine you could extrapolate that and one of them would be ahead of the other. But weirdly enough, it's funny, I didn't know that. They both average 30.1 points. Jason, do you know who the third all-time leading scorer is if you went by average? Third all-time, NBA history.
I'm going to throw this out as a stretch. Iverson?
Nope. Kyle, do you know the answer?
I don't, but I have a guess.
Okay, so as long as you both promise that you don't know the answer and we're playing on the honor system here, let's go. Who would be the third all-time leading scorer by average?
I think it's James Harden.
James Harden, let me scroll. It's a good guess. Let me scroll. He's number 26.
Oh, wow. By average.
Yeah,
Durant?
Durant is number 6 at 27.3.
Oh, well, no, not Kobe.
Who's someone who jumped right in and was good?
Kobe's number 16. This is a hell of a game. This honestly blows my mind.
Dr. J?
Julius Irving. I don't even see him. Yeah, he's somewhere, but he ain't there.
Shot in the dark here. How about George Gervin?
George Gervin, number 11. Good guess. Good history.
Kareem had played too long, so I don't think it's Kareem.
Alex English.
Alex English, not in the top 25.
Okay, good guess, me.
Let me know when you guys want hints, but I'll keep this going because I think, and don't cheat at home, by the way.
No, I'm not cheating. I'm just
okay.
looking at.
Can I ask for a small hint?
Yeah.
Is it before or after the merger?
After.
Did they play before 2000 or after?
After.
After 2000?
That's correct. That's correct.
So it's got to be more.
Carmelo Anthony, not in the top 25.
It's got to be more recent because of
Dirk.
Number 1, Michael Jordan. Number 2, Wilt Chamberlain. Dirk Nowitzki, not in the top 25. This is great. I mean, honestly, when you hear it.
So their career was cut short, right? But how short?
Who said their career was cut short?
I believe they were.
You believe that their career was cut short?
Yeah.
Is it going to be someone ridiculous like Bradley Beal?
No, I wouldn't say that ridiculous, but go ahead. Who's your guess, Jason?
Curry?
Number 19. I'll give you guys a hint. In the top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 are active.
I guess that helps a little.
Luka.
The third all-time leading scorer in the NBA is Luka Doncic at 28.7, followed by Joel Embiid, Elgin Baylor, Kevin Durant at 6, LeBron at 7, Jerry West at 8, Allen Iverson at 9, Bob Pettit at 10. Luka Doncic, by average, is the third all-time leading scorer in the NBA. And no offense to him, and by the way, at those types of numbers and considering when he started, if he plays forever, which I don't think he will, but if he were, he's certainly going to be on those all-time lists. There's no doubt about it. But to say Luka Doncic, Luka Doncic is the third all-time leading scorer in the NBA is just silly. So,
and the way they do it now, I have the top 250 all-time in points. He's not in there.
Not even in there.
No.
But yet last year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and De'Aaron Fox, I believe, had the same exact amount of steals. And so I don't know how that, but I want to say, didn't Shai out average him by like a 10th or something? I could be wrong.
I think Fox won the steals.
Was it Fox? And it was the other way around.
So Fox got the steals title because I remember at the Raptors game they gave him like a little award was most steals, and I think it was like 151.
So I would just like to reiterate, like, Jason, I think you nailed it. It's because that's how they do it. It's because that's how they've always done it. But that's really stupid. And we can go back through history and pick quite a few things in and out of sports where, well, that's because that's the way we do it, proved to be a really, really bad thing. That's why, dude. Having averages is just, to me, it's just silly sauce. Like, let's come into the new millennium, shall we?
I think it can explain your season, but in what you're doing, but it's like we kind of do careers and wins and rebounds and points, and it's kind of odd that, and I wonder how many scoring titles would have been done differently. There was probably a few close calls that if they just did total points, it would have been different because we don't do home run average. Wow, Shohei Ohtani averaged 0.96 home runs this year. It's total home runs.
How silly would that be? I mean, by the way, 0.96, what would that be, like 140 home runs? But I guess
that's what he averaged. Yeah, my math is really good.
But here's it. But that's the whole point. It's like, and oh, by the way, Adam Silver, you're looking for a way to curb. You're looking for a way to curb these guys resting all the time. Now, look, if somebody gets injured and that costs them the scoring title, that sucks. That really does suck. But guess what? The best ability is availability. And if that's true, would you rather have the guy on your team that averaged the most points in the NBA but played, 68 games? Or would you rather have the guy that scored the most in the entire league. I'll take the guy that scored the most any day of the week because that's the one that had the biggest impact on your squad. Yet that's not what we reward. We will take a break when we come back. I'm big on that, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, really fast as we go to break, a texter brought up a good point. Like, do you think it would help with the resting of guys? Like, if the whole metrics were changed to total numbers and, you know, all of a sudden, yeah, right.
That's my whole point is they're trying to curb resting. They're trying to curb load management. So not only is it the right thing to do, but they're sitting around in the league offices going, I don't know how let's do the MVP 65 game. That's fine. But guys, how about this? How about if you decide to rest? Hey, that's great. Good luck winning the scoring title. Good luck winning the rebounding title. And oh, by the way, there are a lot of contracts out there that have very specific and very, very lucrative rewards for winning the scoring title. But again, your scoring title is on averages. So you can sit out. You just have to play the minimum amount of games. You can miss 17 games and you still played your 65 and you still get that's stupid. And he had another guy that played 80 and he's scoring 29 a night. Oh, well, but he didn't average as many. Okay, well, makes a ton of sense. All right, well, we will take a break. I want to get to this Keegan Murray stat as well. When we get back, we'll also take a look at the Sacramento Kings in two parts here to start the 8 o'clock hour. Also looking forward to hearing the bell and Scott Fresh and all that fun stuff. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. Kings Talk next.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and it's going to be a wet and breezy day today. Expect to have rain developing and then sticking around throughout the daylight hours and in through the night tonight with southerly winds upwards of 15 miles per hour, gusting between 20 to 30. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
To all you tool people out there, has Harbor Freight got a deal for you? Big savings every single day this November. Because we know that right now, when the price of everything only seems to go up, you need a place where prices stay low. So shop in-store or online for quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love every day. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
Well, 2025 is almost here, so we're giving you a head start on the new year when you save up to $15,500 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting as low as $37,995.
Wow, already that kind of savings on next year's models?
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation.
Don't miss the savings on new 2025 Rams right now at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,500 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 1500 after 10,000 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 SFS bonus cash. Must finance through Stellantis. 3,000 in Hoblet Select inventory coupons. 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership. And 2,000 in Hoblet trade-in assistance on eligible trade-ins. Tenant net savings to dealer for details. Sample VIN 544-890.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sit-Town Sports 1140.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through the week. Your week! So right now, I need every single listener on their feet. Callers, texters, YouTubers. Make some noise for Sacramento's favorite sports morning show. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, and the man behind the glass, Chris Verlaw.
Who? Not here. Man behind the glass, Kyle Ledbetter.
That's right.
I was thinking about doing a bit where I edited my name in there instead of Christopher Laud, but it just was completely different than what Fresh Hour was saying.
I wouldn't have hated that.
It would have been jarring.
And the man behind the glass.
Kyle Ledbetter.
Would have been perfect. Now, we have a lot to get to, guys. So, of course, I'm going to derail this real quick with a quick thought on public gyms. I am getting so tired of watching these clips on social media of somebody getting mad while they're working out at a public gym because they're filming it, and then somebody walks in between their camera and the weights. And gym culture is a different thing. Obviously, I know all about gym culture, but here's my thing. There's really two solutions here that I see. Number one, just make it really simple. First off, I don't want you filming me in the background while I'm struggling trying to bench 85 pounds and you're doing your latest bicep technique. Number one, you don't have my permission. I don't want to be out there. And it violates a lot of people that violates privacy. Number one. Number two, it's not your studio, dude. It's a public, or lady, it's a public gym. So number one, how about gyms just ban filming, straight up, leave your phone in the frickin' locker, or if you're seen taking pictures or videos, you're going to get a warning and you're going to get booted. So that's a real way to finish it. But I understand in the environment that we're in, you got to film yourself pooping, to do something on social media. Everybody's got to film everything. So how about this? Has anyone, and maybe this is an idea that exists, Jason, but has anybody thought of opening up a gym specifically tailored towards filming? And you could have every single weight section has little tripods that you just throw your phone in and you can film. They've got cool backgrounds. You have a little where those confession corners where you can go in and sit down, and you got the background and all that. The lighting is a specific way. Maybe go the other way, be okay, regular gym, no filming, but hey, it's we're opening up Jason and Dave's new Instagram gym where everything is super Wi-Fi friendly, everything is tailored towards filming, and then that way when people walk in, they know that that, dude, this is where you're going to be, and this is you're going to get filmed. Insta gym. Yes. Now Russell's saying there are gyms out there with lighting at every station for content creators. Okay. And then Aaron says California Family Fitness has a rule about no phone for photos and videos. That's good. Well, can we
I just bring in my big camera, my crew.
Like the one that you put over the shoulder.
Yes.
His crew is just Nate. Nate films him while he does his workouts.
Everywhere.
I mean, I think it's kind of weird inherently to feel like, I get like taking a picture like, hey, it's 5 a.m. I'm crushing it. Like, it's a way to keep yourself accountable, and everyone says, go get it, do your thing. Like, however people want to get motivated, that's fine. I don't hate on that, but I don't know, like filming yourself doing curls and stuff. But I also recognize that there's some people that do that for a living, that there's instructional stuff, and I've watched it before. Like, oh, how do I do this move? I have no idea. I don't know. It's just weird. And then somebody walks in front of your camera and goes, oh, come on, you're messing up my shots. Like, bro, what? Are you serious now? So anyway, that's my rant for the day until the next rant for the day. Jason, I have a stat for you. The best field goal percentage in the restricted area so far in the 2024-25 NBA regular season. Number 3, Santi Aldama. Number 2, Nick Claxton. Number 1 at 87.1%. Keegan Murray.
Hey.
Keegan Murray.
I know that dude.
I know that dude. Number 1 in the restricted area in the entire NBA. Now, here's something. In the 2024-25 NBA regular season, the worst three-point percentage on open shots. What does that mean? That means 4 to 6 feet of space between the shooter and the defender. The worst three-point percentage on open shots. Number 3, Tyrese Halliburton. What a bust. Weirdly, number 8, De'Aaron Fox at 22.5%. Number 3, Tyrese Halliburton, 18.5%. Number 2, RJ Barrett. The worst three-point shooter in the NBA on open shots at 17.2%. Keegan Murray. Wow. So, look, there's minimums here, by the way, minimum attempts in games and all that. So we're not, but it is, it's also 15 games, which is in itself kind of a small example. But Jason, I feel like that tells us something, and I'm going to go back to yesterday and echo a little bit of what Keegan's dad was saying on Twitter, which is you're not using him in the post. You're having him run all over the place. He's led or is leading the league in minutes, and obviously he's struggling from behind the arc. But why is Mike Brown? Why are they not adjusting the offense to put him in a position where he is literally the most successful player in the NBA right now and post that sucker up, man? What are we doing?
Well, part of it is, I mean, tell me, just off the top of your head, you got a lot of plays that you remember post-ups for anybody on the Kings?
No, I don't. You're right. I mean, DeMontis finds his way in, but generally Sabonis starts at the top of the key and dribbles his way into the post.
Yeah, and then the other pushback would be, I mean, explain Keegan in year 1. So he's year 1 coming off of being a power forward / kind of center at Iowa, more recent basketball, than he comes in and sets the NBA rookie record for threes and shot it at a good clip.
Yeah.
So he's more than capable. I mean, again, I'm not saying don't post him up. You want to get points where you can get points from anywhere you can. But I just think he is a better three-point shooter than he's showing. That's for sure.
I certainly can't explain away nor defend him being the worst in the league at open threes, other than maybe just wait for somebody to jump in your face and then shoot it. I can't explain that. What I will say is, again, I'll go back to what Monty told me a couple weeks ago, which really, really stuck in my head. There have been times in Keegan Murray's career, in fact, I want to say it's happened every year of his career, where I think it's fair to say he's gone through, let's just call it a 15-game stretch, where he could not shoot the ball. We've had this conversation. We had it his rookie year when he broke the record. We had it last year. There have been stretches where Keegan Murray is not good. And I haven't gone back through the numbers, but I'll just bet that he has had multiple stretches that are 15 games or longer in the 3 years, 2.5 years he's been in the NBA, where he has shot the three ball at or near where he's shooting the three ball right now. The thing that stands out, which isn't working in his favor, much like Cleveland starting out the year 15-0 is a lot more impactful than a random 15-game winning streak. It just is that Keegan is starting the year out on this kind of a slump. So it stands out a hell of a lot more. In other words, guys, if Keegan Murray in games 40 to 55 was shooting like this, it would not stand out near as much. We'd know it. We'd talk about it. But it's not the same as when you start out the year like that, and then you go to his stats and you go, oh my God, Keegan Murray for his career is shooting and now you look at him, and in fact, I'll bring it up right here real quick, Jason. Keegan Murray is shooting 29.9% from beyond the arc. He's a 38% career shooter on 1,000, almost exactly 1,100 attempts. That's not an anomaly. That's right. What he is. So this is just, I'm very much willing to believe that he's going to not regress, but progress to the mean at some point and get that shooting up. I just like to see him in the post more.
Yeah, I think you brought up his wide open threes. So he's dead last. I think you said Fox was 8th. I think there was a stat out there where the Kings were at the bottom of the league in 3-point shooting, but in wide open threes, they were below their 3-point percentage in general. Like, that's staggering to be. I want to say they were like 24% on wide open threes, and for regular threes, they weren't much better, but they were better. And so you're going, okay, that just doesn't compute. Like, that does feel like an outlier. And I'm hoping the last 2 games have made 19 and 20 that it's starting to come around.
We'll take a break here. I want to quickly shout out a longtime loyal listener, Danny T, who he has a great bit going. My direct messages are always open, especially during the holidays. And about every 2 weeks, I get a random message from him based on a segment we're doing. And they're always about John Fisher. So I'll just give you the last couple. I hope John Fisher's nose hairs are gray. I hope John Fisher doesn't wipe correctly. That had to be a conversation we had. I wish John Fisher would tap out of ownership. This must have been for Veterans Day. I hope a veteran takes a dump on John Fisher's lawn. And then today, I hope John Fisher's gym membership gets revoked for a lapse in auto pay. He's with the bit, and he's continuing it, and God bless him. We'll take a break. When we return, more Sacramento Kings. Jason, best of the first 15 games, worst of the first 15 games, win, loss, surprise, disappointment. We've got a 1-minute quick break here. Let's stack that up next.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. We're going to do best and worst so far as we take a quick peek at the Kings season through 15 games. Jason, this is interesting because what you have down here is you have a total of 6 categories, okay? 4 of which are specifics. Best win, worst loss, best surprise, biggest disappointment. I assume you have those 4 win, surprise, loss, disappointment. You already have those in your head?
Roughly, yeah.
I predict we're going to match on 3 of 4.
Okay.
And honestly, it's the wins and the losses that are worrying me. I'll start with best win. For me, there are some candidates, certainly, and I would accept a couple of different answers. I'm going to go back to that win in Miami. On the road in Miami, needing that win, coming off a bad loss on the road trip, getting the Atlanta win. There's certainly more options, but when I look at the strength of both teams, when I look at that's a place they historically play bad in, I'm going to give the best win of the year so far in Miami by a hair.
Okay. I actually went to the game in Phoenix. Road win in Phoenix in overtime. They did a good job of getting it there, if I remember right. Yeah, Keegan had the tip shot. There was that weird play where they fouled Booker before the inbound and made one forced overtime, but they won there in Phoenix. So at the time, Phoenix had one loss. So I'm going to go with the road win at Phoenix.
Okay, that was the one I thought we might have different. Let's see if we can match on these other 3 here. This is the other one I think we might have different. I think we might get it right, though. Worst loss, there are certainly some heartbreaking losses, whether it's Atlanta or in San Antonio. Not heartbreaking, but just a bit of a the San Antonio hurt, but I'm watching San Antonio, like what they did last night. I think as the season goes on, much like Houston last year when they lost in Houston, went, what the hell? And then Houston ended up being an up-and-comer. I'm going to give it at Toronto. The amount of players Toronto was missing, the fact that they were going into Atlanta and Miami, you needed to have that win. Turned out they got the Atlanta and Miami win, which was great, but that Toronto win sticks to me. That's a game I think they win 9 out of 10 times.
You know what? I don't know why I didn't have that one there in my head. I probably should have. I was wrestling between the Spurs game. I just think they played so poorly. But I don't like home losses, so I'm actually the Clipper game. It was historically the worst 3-point shooting day they've ever had in 40 seasons as the Kings. And they had some chances to get in that game. That one I just didn't like the way they played in that game.
Okay. All right. So we are 0-2. So
this is like the wedding game where they ask the couples which one is the better dancer, and you guys are like always putting the wrong answer.
Yeah. Can I say that's a bit I've wanted to do for a long time, Jason? Somebody's got to have the home game. Maybe I can order it, but I think it would actually be funny for you and I to play the newlywed game.
Yes.
Obviously, there's certain questions that wouldn't fit, but or would they? All right. The best surprise this season, I'm going to go with the free throw shooting. They were not good last year, to say the least. And they've been at or near the top when it comes to free throw percentage all year long. So there's a couple of things that stick out. But for me, I think the fact that they're so good shooting free throws, that's probably going to be number one.
Okay, that's probably where I agree with you. That's where I would have landed on that one too. I wanted to do a partial shout out though to De'Aaron getting 60.
Yeah.
I mean, to go above your career high by 16 points when your career high is 44. I mean, the number of people in the history of the league that hit 60 is not that many. It's never happened in this franchise. And I thought De'Aaron could get to 50. 60 is special territory, so that would be my other one I want to mention.
Okay. All right. Jason didn't have faith in De'Aaron Fox. All right. Worst or biggest disappointment. Look, the fact that they don't have the depth, that's something. It's a disappointment, but we knew that going in. I'll say honestly, I think the obvious answer for me is just their 3-point shooting. God, just has been abysmal with the exception of a handful of games. I did not expect that. There were a lot of things I was worried about. 3-point shooting wasn't one of them. And I did not expect them to be in the bottom third of the league, but here we are through 15.
Yeah, the two I wrote down, shooting was the first one, so we're agreed there, and I wrote down the bench. So we kind of had, you mentioned it, so we had the same thought process there, and some of the bench would all be better if the shooting was better. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Also, they're missing their best bench guy right now, Malik Monk. But, yeah, shooting and bench would be my two there.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday. So want to bring it back up. The Kings provided a medical update on all three injured players, Monk, DeMar DeRozan, and Domantas Sabonis. All three really almost identical as to what the prognosis is, that they were out with an injury in 2 cases, obviously the back, and then you had Malik, reevaluated, cleared for contact, and listed as day-to-day. So, Jason, I don't think it's out of the ballpark to say that we could have 1, 2, or even all 3 back. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying having 1, 2, or 3 back is certainly on the table for Friday.
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, obviously the 2 I think is happening. Like you said, the Malik, I want to see this team again with what they've done here lately, like this great version of Fox, incorporating those other guys back. And if that bench can, start to produce, that would be maybe the silver lining here of having those guys out. Coach Brown has had to play more bench guys. I don't know if he'll stick with that, but maybe some of them have earned a little bit of trust.
From the 510 on the text line, 916-339-1140. Hey, Dave, you claim you're pretty fair and can be critical of the team. Can we talk about how the Kings are at the bottom of 3-pointers made in Dalton Connect, a player Monty passed on in favor of Carter and didn't trade Herter this offseason? It's a 3-point league. We're loaded up on mid-range shooters. So glad Monty took Devin Carter, as we're at the bottom of the league. I would just say, sir or ma'am, we spent almost an entire segment on that about a half an hour ago.
Yeah, it's all timing, right? Dalton Connect had a great game last game, right? 9 points as a starter, or 9 threes.
Yeah.
You know who just hit 9 threes?
Keon
Ellis. Which is funny because that also goes to this makes me laugh because we do it. We're Kings fans. We think everything happens against the Kings. They didn't draft Dalton Connect. How do you lose to this game when player X goes off? They never do that. If the Kings had won and you and I were Atlanta, Dave, and whatever, I guess I'd just be Jason. We'd go, how do you lose a game to Keon Ellis?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, like, do people in Atlanta know who Keon Ellis was?
No.
And so if he goes off and they win that game, you're like, you didn't lose to De'Aaron Fox. They didn't have Sabonis. They didn't have DeRozan. You lose to a guy named Keon Ellis. That's exactly, it does happen. It happens. It just, people can't seem to fathom that it happens against other teams. It always seems to happen against the Kings. That's not true.
I would say this as we go to break, Jason. I think every single point you're bringing up is a level-headed, smart, and hopefully accurate point. I'm going to couch it here. No, it's here's where I'm couching it in my head. That is a to be determined. We cannot make assumptions based on a 37-point game. We haven't even seen Carter play yet. We don't know what trades are in the works, but I do think this. I think right now, it looks like a bad pick. Right now, I wish we had Dalton Connect for a ton of reasons. I will save that judgment until the end of the year when we can go back and look at how Monty. I don't like making judgments based on incompletes, but I will say this. Devin Carter being injured, did they know he was injured? The lack of depth, the lack of 3-point shooting. It doesn't look good right now. It absolutely doesn't look good right now, but there is time to change that notion, and I think it's fair to allow for that.
Yeah, but if we're doing that, why wouldn't you want Jared McCain? Like, he was picked after Carter. Like, if we're doing this exercise, McCain's been better than Connect. Connect had a great game last night. He did. I don't want to dismiss that. Yeah. But everybody's jumping to him because he's a Laker and he hit 9 threes last night. McCain's played better than him.
I think it's fair. I think that's an incredibly fair point. Why are we yelling about Dalton? Honestly, probably I'll just speak for me. The reason why the Dalton Connect thing hurts, just this is my point of view, a little bit extra, is that's who I wanted the Kings to pick. That's I didn't say that about Jared McCain, so you could say I was the Dalton Connect thing. That's who I wanted them to pick. So it's gonna be a little bit of a confirmation bias for me. I get it. But then again, I thought Davion Mitchell was a great pick and was going to be the next Diet Chris Paul, and this Alperen Şengün guy can't play defense. We all screw up. It's just we tend to vocalize our rights a lot more than our wrongs. We'll take it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to add, just for context, to the last 6 games, by the way, for Connect, or excuse me, for McCain, 18, 27, 23, 34 with 10 assists, 29, and 20.
Oof.
That's his last sticks.
Well, what do we need that for? He's also really good on TikTok and social media.
Yes, and a local guy.
Sixers are 1-5 in those games.
They are.
Yeah, well, we're 0-2 in games that players have career highs in points this year too. So we'll take a break. I hate everything. I'm in a bad mood. When we come back, get in a better mood. How about 4-down territory? Let's finish up our predictions. We went through the NFC yesterday. Let's go through the AFC. We'll predict the order of finishes, and you guys can yell at us for being stupid. Then we got who's hot, who's not, and Kayte Christensen, the TV voice of your Sacramento Kings, joins us at 9 a.m. Sit back. We got a great hour and a half for you, plus Causeway Classic tickets to give away as well. One hell of a model American. We'll be right back after this.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9999 now. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their #1 priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Sorry, I was getting into the music there. Dun, dun, dun. That's Post Malone, right, Kyle?
Yes.
Featuring
Sway Lee.
Welcome back. 1-800-920-1140. That song was off the top of my head. Lyrics by me. You can call us and talk to us, and we will talk back to you. Jason Ross, I believe we have a candidate.
Yes, we do. How about AC? AC joining the show.
Hey, gentlemen, long time no see here, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I got two points about our guards. One, there's sometimes in sports where a record doesn't get broken because it's unlikely. It's an unlikely scenario. For example, the NFL longest field goal record stayed at 64 for a long time, right? Because most coaches don't go into that situation. It's an unusual circumstance. Fox scoring 60 points is incredible, but you got to admit that you really don't want one player to score that many points because that means the rest of the team isn't scoring that well, right? So I don't think you'll see that record be broken for a long, long time. And the second thing is, no one's been talking about Devin Carter, and I just wish the Kings would clean up their record on draft picks. It'll be fun to do a watch on the players drafted after the Kings, and you guys after the Kings pick.
No, it wouldn't. AC, it would not be fun. Just want to throw that in there real quick. That would not be. You know what? Like lots of things are fun, AC, and I love you. That would not be. That would be like. That would be like hanging out and making out with a cheese grater might be fun. No, it wouldn't. Go ahead though.
Yeah. Anyway, it would be interesting. Let me put it this way: it'll be interesting to see what happens. And you guys aren't in the medical field, but I had a long career in the medical field. And the shoulder and the foot are the two parts of the body that have the least amount of blood vessels feeding repair to those areas. And because of that, they're slow to heal. So I would never draft anybody with a foot problem. Look at Sam Bowie, or a shoulder problem. And Devin Carter might be a stud, but you probably have to go back to James Worthy to see a team that drafted a stud who was injured when they drafted him.
Or Joel Embiid. Thank you, AC. Your point's valid. I mean, Embiid obviously stands out. By the way, Steph Curry, he literally almost got a dead guy's ankle because his ankle was so jacked up. Jason, we have to get to this. We're going to rank our where we think people are going to finish. Jill Adge, who knows a ton about basketball, is a great personality on Twitter. She shared this stat from TJ. This is specifically for Russell. This actually is really interesting. So Keegan Murray, his rookie year in November, was shooting 27% from beyond the arc. Keegan Murray, his second year in November, was shooting 26.2% from beyond the arc. Keegan Murray this November is shooting 28.3% from beyond the arc. So how about this stat? Keegan Murray is enjoying the best November from a three-point shooting perspective of his entire career.
It's a November to remember.
Does he not like Thanksgiving? What is his problem?
Yeah, remember he just likes chicken and rice and pretty basic stuff.
I like chicken and rice.
Well, there he was.
Yeah.
Back to you. Let's figure this out. Do we have an NFL bet or something here? Let's continue with our standings, and we're going to tell you guys where we think things are going to finish out. What division do we start in, Jason?
I'll ask Kyle.
I guess for our first down, we'll start off with the AFC West.
Well, I introed that like crap. Yep, first down, 4 down territory. Good job, Dave. I hate doing this, dude. I did this a couple times yesterday, and it just seems so damn lazy. Talk me out of it, Jason. I think the AFC West is going to be right where the AFC West is right now. I think the Chiefs are going to win the division. I think the Chargers will be in second. They're currently 2 behind the Chiefs and 2 ahead of the Broncos, who are 3.5 ahead of the Raiders. I don't, again, as always, barring injury, I don't see anything changing on that front. And to be honest with you, if something was going to change weirdly enough, it would probably, if you told me that one of those positions will change no matter what, and you had a crystal ball, I think I'd probably say maybe the Chargers catch the Chiefs. They still have one more game with them. They played them close in their first one, 17-10, but I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I get used to saying the division order of finish is exactly what it is for maybe quite a few of these AFC divisions, but I'm with you, except for I have Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. I think if there was one switch, I would say the Broncos have a chance to catch the Chargers. But I'm not picking that. I would go Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders as it is right now.
Let me just say this real quick, that we may just need to really start looking at the Chargers a little bit more. We talked about it before the season. Jim Harbaugh has a 3-4 year shelf life, and his first couple years, he's as good a coach as there's ever been in the league. They've got the Ravens at home. Those Ravens are going to be pissed off this weekend. That's going to be a hell of a game. At Falcons, at Chiefs, home Bucks, home Broncos, at Patriots, at Raiders. Jason, I'm just looking at them. I'm assuming they're going to win their last 4. Maybe they get 1 out of the Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs. I think that's being incredibly fair. That's 5 wins for the Chiefs. That puts them at 12-5 for the season. We may need to pay a little more attention to these guys.
That's fair.
Don't worry, the Chargers will flame out in the most hilarious way ever, like they always do.
Wow. All right, second down.
Second down. Predict the order of finish for the AFC North.
Jason Ross.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave the Browns in the cellar. Sorry, Cleveland. I'm going to leave Cincinnati in third. I'm going to leave Baltimore in second. And I've been impressed with Pittsburgh. I mean, I think quarterback play has been good enough. Defense has been great. They've won 2 games this year with getting just field goals, which is a testament to them. They've won 5 in a row. They got a great coach. They believe. I'm just going to leave it as is. Not sexy, but
when you said leaving the Browns in the cellar, I thought you were talking about something else. When I look at that division, I agree with you on the bottom 2. I look at what the Ravens have remaining. They've got the Chargers, Eagles, Steelers again, Texans, and then you got the Browns and Giants in there. It doesn't get much easier, by the way. If it's almost, obviously same division. It's almost exactly the same for the Steelers. The Steelers still have at Bengals, at Eagles, at Ravens, home Chiefs, home Bengals, and then they've got 2 Browns games mixed in there. I very, very badly, in fact, I probably should say I think the Ravens will end up catching Pittsburgh, but I promised my Pittsburgh guys if they were able to beat the Ravens, that I would respect them, and I need to respect them. They have won 5 in a row. Everybody else in that division has lost at least 1 in a row. They are 8-2. They have the best defensive player in the game in TJ Watt, and they're making the quarterback situation work. And at some point, we have to give a thumbs up, as we always do, to Mike Tomlin for having the cojones to make that quarterback switch when they had the record they did. So far, it's working out great. My better angels say the Ravens are going to catch them, but that's a 2-game gap right now with 6 remaining. I'll go the same as you, Jason. I'll keep the exact same standings there right now. So boring.
They're down.
All right, third down. Let's go with the AFC East. Predict that.
Okay. God. I think the Dolphins are going to win more of their final 7 than lose. They've won 2 in a row. Look, this just in. They're better with Tua. But that is a 4-game deficit behind the Bills. They're not catching them. The Bills have won 6 in a row. They're 9-2. They just beat the Chiefs. And the Jets and Patriots aren't catching the Dolphins. I think the only question here is, do the Jets just completely fall apart and fall behind the Patriots? I'm going to say they don't, but stranger things have happened. So for the 3rd straight time, I'm keeping the standings exactly where they are.
Okay, I have one switch on this one. Leaving the Bills number 1. I've been dumping on the Jets the whole show, but I think they play the Dolphins twice, and that's their opportunity. And I think they will find a way to get that done. So I'm going to go Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots bringing up the rear.
Fourth down.
All right, fourth down. Let's predict the order of finish for the pyramid scheme that is the AFC South.
Jason?
Okay. I am going to go with the Tennessee Titans in fourth, the Jacksonville Jaguars in third. I'll leave the Colts 2 and the Texans number 1.
Man, look, we could either make it interesting sports radio or we could lie. I hate to say it. I literally have the exact same thing. I think Jacksonville's a better team than Tennessee. Look, they both suck. But I think in the end, the Jaguars, who are just a half game behind Tennessee, they've lost 4 in a row. They're 0-6 on the road. They've played 5 home games. I think in the end, it's going to be one of those like 4-13 versus 3-15 or whatever's. But yeah, I have Jacksonville leapfrogging Tennessee. Colts aren't going to catch the Texans unless the Texans get injured. They're going to win that division. So yeah, I'll have that one leapfrog, keep the rest of it the same, and you can take those to the bank. Probably not. We'll take a break. When we come back, don't forget Kayte coming up in just 15 minutes. Let's get to a who's hot and who's not Kyle Ledbetter edition. We'll do all that right after this.
Join Sacramento State football this Saturday at 2 for the Causeway Classic versus UC Davis. Get your tickets at HornetSports.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one. And if you want to save on a new Ford, you got to drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with 0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Who's hot? That would be Mr. Dalton Connect.
Oh, now you're going to trigger everybody.
Connect 4. Career high 37 points yesterday. Hit 9 3-pointers, which tied the all-time NBA rookie record alongside 3 other players. And I would bet that if I gave you guys 500 guesses, you would not guess a single one of the rookies.
Wait, say this again.
So Dalton Knecht yesterday hit 9 threes in a game. He tied the all-time NBA record for three-pointers made in a game by a rookie. If I gave you guys 500 guesses, I don't think you'd be able to name a single one of the 3 players that he's tied with.
All right. So obvious one would be Steph Curry.
Nope.
499. Jason.
Mike Miller.
It's not Mike Miller.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Not Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Keegan Murray.
It's not Keegan Murray, although Keegan had 8 in a game his rookie year. I think about like 17 players have done 8.
All right, he says 500 guesses, so that means like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Obviously, that's not going to be the case.
Yes.
Danny Ainge.
No, I'll give you a hint. One of them was a rookie last year.
What about Peyton Pritchard?
No Peyton Pritchard. I'll give you another hint. A second person is a former Sacramento King, although he didn't play for the Kings when he hit the record.
Othell Wilson.
Incorrect.
I give up.
Give us the teams they did it for.
Okay, so there is one Utah Jazz and then 2 players who were both on the Dallas Mavericks.
When they did it?
When they did it.
Devin Harris.
It is not Devin Harris, although I'll say they've all been in the last 15 years.
Mavs. 9 threes in the last 15 years for a Mavs rookie.
I don't have it.
I don't either. Give us the guys.
Okay, so the Utah Jazz rookie is Keontae George.
Last year.
Yes, Keontae George hit 9. Next we have Yogi Ferrell.
Oh, Yogi
Ferrell.
And Rodrigue Beaubois.
Oh, man.
Rodrigue Beaubois.
Those were my 501st, 2nd, and 3rd guesses.
Yeah, so I think yesterday's performance, the moral of the story is Dalton Knecht headed for incredible things in his career in the illustrious company of Keontae George, Yogi Ferrell, and Rodrigue Beaubois.
Wow. Dalton Knecht sucks.
Yeah, he's disconnect.
Yeah, connect this, pal.
I guess we can call that group the Connect Four.
Nice.
No, we can't, Kyle. Who's not?
Why?
Well, who's not? That would be the New York Jets, obviously, for what happened yesterday. But I'm also going to throw in the Miami Dolphins, just generally are not hot. So after last week's loss, it meant that the Jets, best they could finish this season, if they won every game the rest of the year, Aaron Rodgers returned to MVP form, they would go 9-8, which means that they will not get to 10 wins. Do you guys have a guess about when the last time the Jets and Dolphins both won 10 games in the same season?
Because the Jets used to be AFC East.
Yeah.
With Sanchez and
Rex Ryan.
Snack, but the Dolphins probably weren't good.
I'll say it was sometime in the 80s. I'm going to say 1986.
Yeah, maybe with
Ken
Dan
O'Brien.
Marino and Richard Todd.
Richard Todd, Dan Marino, yeah.
I'm gonna go 88.
Okay, you guys were a little bit too far here, but you were on the right track in the first place. So when Rex Ryan and the Jets were good, that was the last time that both teams just had a winning record in a season, 500 or better.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
2008.
Okay.
The last time that both teams won 10 games in a season was 2001.
Wow.
Which was the year I was born.
Shut up. You shut up. You shut up right now. You know who else is hot, Jason?
Ooh.
NFL viewership.
Yeah?
With the exception of Thanksgiving and Christmas games, and of course, playoffs. Over the weekend, the Chiefs versus Bills game had 31.2 million viewers. That is the most for an NFL regular season game since 2007, week 9. Care to guess the teams? I'll give you a hint. 2007's version of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
Patriots.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And who was Tom Brady's Josh Allen?
Oh, Peyton.
That is correct. The Patriots Colts Week 9, 2007. This is now this generation's Brady Manning. Last time that you had 31.2 or more. Can I also say one of the great things about the NFL is you just hit a record that is 17 years old for Buffalo, New York, and Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Markets do not matter. Players matter. Listen up, NBA. Also, last thing, another who's hot is for the both of you. There is only one player this year that has more 5-5-5 games on 70% or more shooting. Domantas Sabonis leads the league. But who is second?
Victor Wembanyama.
Nope.
Five. How many fives?
So at least 5 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists on 70% or more shooting.
Jokic?
Nope.
It's got to be a random big man.
No, somebody I would say is right in line as far as talent level.
Oh, with Sabonis?
With Sabonis, Jokic, Wembanyama.
Is it going to be Jalen Brunson?
No.
Okay.
Sabonis leads the league.
And shooting 70% or better?
That's right. I'll give you guys a hint.
Alan Chunas
also plays better defense than Sabonis.
This must be a very good player.
I would agree.
Giannis?
Nope. Very good player. Somebody who I think would fit perfectly.
Oh, gosh.
With the Sacramento Kings.
I know who it is, but so don't I know now, Dave, based on my reaction?
You 100%.
So I'm gonna see if Kyle can get there.
I know who it is, I'm pretty sure now. Would that be Mr. Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons, that's right. Only Domantas Sabonis has more games with 70% shooting. And of course, Simmons plays all NBA defense. But we couldn't use that guy. And that's totally, by the way, not a subjective stat made up that of 5-5-5 on games that are even on Wednesdays. That's the real deal. Jason, are you ready to admit you're wrong about Ben Simmons?
Does he play all NBA defense still?
That's what they say.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Jason, you got to watch the games.
I do.
Last night when he had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yes, getting it done.
And how many steals did he have, Kyle?
He had 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he took it from his own teammate.
Well, when we come back, we'll run that by Katie. No MC in the chat yet. I'm a little worried on Katie Day.
Hi, Cal.
All right, we'll see if he shows up. Kayte Christensen coming up right after this.
Want to have enough money for retirement
and travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, and other offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Black Friday is on its way at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, and there's no better place to shop for all your power tools. Low price Makita Bear tools starting at $89, Makita batteries starting at just $49, and many more of the year's hottest deals. November 25th through December 2nd. That's right, one whole week of crazy deals on power tools. So don't forget, our Black Friday sale will be November 25th through December 2nd. Check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road or online at fastenersinc.net. Time to gear up. It's the Black Friday and Gold Saturday open house event at Roseville Power Sports. Located at 360 North Sunrise Avenue. We're your home for the best deals on Can-Am side-by-sides, ATVs, and Ski-Doo snowmobiles. Now's the time to save thousands on a brand new Can-Am or Ski-Doo. And check out the all-new Can-Am Maverick R with an incredible 240 horsepower. A Maverick R is built to conquer any terrain, bringing unmatched power and excitement to your off-road adventures. Plus, save 30 to 50% on accessories, helmets, jackets, gear, everything you need to ride in style and safety. This Black Friday and Saturday only. And it's not just about the savings. It's an open house event you won't want to miss. Join us for food, prizes, and more this Black Friday. So head to Roseville Power Sports this Black Friday and Gold Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And let's kick off the holiday season with incredible deals and tons of fun. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. Offers valid on 2024 and prior product while supplies last. Happy holidays from Roseville Power Sports.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Kyle is efforting Katie, who is starting to show a little bit of a habit of, here, there, everywhere. It's what, two in the last 3 weeks?
Wow.
Also, good of MC to show up. He says, I've been here. I've been here.
He's waiting, eagerly waiting.
R8 says I had to cancel a Zoom call for Katie.
Nice.
While we're waiting on Katie, and feel free to yell at me when we have her, hopefully, I have the Ringer's top 100 NBA player rankings. Right now, as of right now, they're top 100 currently playing. And I thought this just made me kind of snicker a little bit. Number 18, Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
Number 19, Domantas Sabonis.
They did that on purpose.
Number 20, De'Aaron Fox. Look, if these are current, I'm not trying to ignite the whole. I'm not Matt George. I'm not trying to ignite the whole conversation again. But if this is going on this year, which is what it is going on, these are current ranking.
Yeah,
there is 0.000 argument that Tyrese Halliburton is ahead of either Sabonis or De'Aaron Fox. He is not having a good start to the season. I think it'll even out. I think he's better than what his numbers are right now. But he is not having a good start to the season. I saw a stat lineup yesterday comparing he and Fox this year, and I think the only category I think the only category he's beating Fox in is assists.
Yeah, an assist. Let me look him up right now. 7th is good, but I mean, a lot of times he lives in that top 2 or 3. Yeah, everything is down for him right now, and even just their overall record too. Like the Pacers, let's remember where they made it to last year, and they're 6-8 right now, I think. So,
yeah.
But I'm with you. I mean, he's better than this, but I think there's a lot of love for him in general. Yeah,
that's
going to go there. Oh, we've got Kayte.
Oh, great! Joining us right now. Part of her weekly. We moved her to 9 a.m. because that's what she wanted. We make room for TV people. That's what we do. But she must be. She's busy because here we are, the one, the only, the voice of your Sacramento Kings, Kayte Christensen. Good morning.
Good morning. And I feel like I should say this. Reminders are good because I never know what day of the week it is.
Yeah, maybe we. What about one of them candygrams where somebody just comes by the house and knocks and sings it like, "Now it's time for your weekly spot. Make sure that you." I don't know. I don't have anything actually. I don't have a second line, Kayte, but something like that.
Let's not venture out into another career, Dave. I don't think you're going to be that good at that.
Wow, Kayte, you're criticizing my singing. That's a first.
No, creativity, I think, is what it was. The criticism.
Kayte, Keegan Murray has been a topic this week, and even Keegan's dad got a little bit on social media. Nothing, out of pocket. Just there's some numbers that show that Keegan, believe it or not, is the worst in the NBA right now in shooting open 3-pointers. That's a defender not within 4 to 6 feet. I know you knew that, but for the audience, number 1 in the league though in field goal percentage in the paint. He also leads the league in miles ran. He either leads or is top 4 now, depending on the day, in minutes played. Do there need to be some adjustments, not just by Keegan? He obviously needs to shoot better from 3, but are there some things Mike Brown can do to help Keegan out, in your opinion?
So when you look at the number of open threes, what is Mike supposed to do to get him more open threes? I guess is the question. Yeah.
No, I agree with you there. I'm more talking about the post play.
It's not a coaching thing or a scheme thing. It's a rough start to the season shooting threes, but he's done so many other great things. And you look at kind of the Utah game. He started at center, and they have one of the biggest front courts in the league. And I think they started 3 7-footers in that game. And so, you look at kind of how things have had to shift with injuries and responsibilities for guys that are on the floor and matchups and what they look like. I'm not worried about Keegan. He's proven that he's a great 3-point shooter, but he's also still just in his 3rd season. Consistency doesn't necessarily come early in people's career. The first season, he had an unbelievable, 3-point shooting barrage, but all he did was catch and shoot threes. That's all. He didn't come off the HOs. It's not like he's getting 3-point looks like Kevin. He got, spot up threes where his feet were set and he just went straight into the shot. So for me, he's added so many things to his game. Now it's just about putting them all together and being consistent. And that's just something that Keegan has to work through.
And I mean, I feel, Kayte, like he will, though. He's shown us that he has. He's a guy that personally I'm not that worried about. I love what he does defensively. His rebounding's elevated. And part of it, too, I think if everybody is there, so let's say Sabonis, DeRozan, Fox, they're all back. I'm just not entirely shocked that some of Keegan's offensive numbers are down. As long as he's efficient, I still think that could be a winning recipe for this team.
Yeah, I mean, look, to me, it's they're still trying to figure some things out too, in terms of working DeMar, working DeMar into kind of the offensive scheme, and that changes the shots that people get. It changes what they run. It changes things down the stretch of the game, where they tend to go from more up tempo to more of an ISO type situation. But listen, if I'm being honest, and you look at what Keegan did numbers wise and shooting wise in his rookie year, I'd prefer the Keegan that we have in year 3, because he impacts the game in so many different ways now. He's not a one-dimensional player. And the whole point for him is to develop into, that all-around player. And three-point shooting capabilities, it's not going to go away. It's just a matter of getting comfortable integrating that shot with all the other things that he's being asked to do. The defensive thing to me is a big thing, right? He's being asked to defend a variety of players. You're playing both ends of the floor. You're rebounding. He's getting great mid-range stuff. He's getting a lot more dunks. He's had multiple double-doubles this year. I don't know exactly where his number stands, but he had 8 total last year. I think he's at 5 or 6. So I would prefer this version of Keegan because I have faith in the fact that the three-point shooting capabilities, they're there. It's just about integrating them all into one game where you're playing at 3 levels of the floor and on the defensive end.
Would it surprise you, Katie, as it did me to see this earlier, that Keegan Murray is actually shooting a career high percentage from 3 for the month of November in his career?
How many has he taken?
I don't know. I just know I didn't see that part, but it was interesting to me. Somebody posted that it's like 29.8%, but he's, with all the talk, he just doesn't like November apparently.
Yeah, I haven't looked up his month by month numbers yet because we're not even through the first full month of the season, but I kept it on my game boards last year, and his month by month and his home versus away shooting numbers. And it's interesting because, like Trey Lyles is shooting the mess out of the ball right now, but he started off so poorly that it impacts the overall number. So I think a lot of people tend to just look at what your overall shooting numbers for the season, and they don't really break it down into, months or home versus away, those types of things. So it would surprise me, but I don't think he's taking, and I could be wrong here. I mean, I think he's still averaging about 6 attempts a game. The last time, I looked a few days ago, I believe, and that's about what he averaged his first 2 years.
Kyle, you have the number there in front of you?
Yeah, so in the month of November, Keegan is 17 for 60, and he's averaging 5.5 attempts per game.
So how does that compare to last year?
Give me 2 minutes and I'll figure it out.
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead,
Katie. I think it's a little bit down. It's a little bit down in terms of, but slightly, like 1 a game, right? But look at all the other things that he's doing. He dunks. I started tracking last year with him because he only had a handful in his rookie year, and last year it was crazy. And there was a game earlier this year. I can't remember which one. That's asking me to organize a lot in this brain. I couldn't even get the day right. So you follow me.
Uh-huh.
But I think there was a game recently where he had like 3 dunks in a game.
6.5 3-point attempts per game last November. So 1 more last year than this year.
Yeah. 1 less. So, but he has to take the shots. And I think that Keegan is the type of player that, he seems very unaffected, but that's also asking a third-year player to do a lot mentally in terms of struggling shooting the ball, keep taking them, and don't think about all the ones that you've missed. He just has to work it out in his mind. And the thing that I love about it is Mike Brown is the type of coach where he's never going to be like, hey, let's look for another type of shot for you right now. Absolutely not. He's going to pull him out if he doesn't shoot it. So the reason why Keegan is taking these wide open shots and not second guessing himself is because last year Mike Brown made it very clear he would pull him out of a game immediately if he did not take an open shot.
Katie, I'm thinking about since we last talked to you too, you saw firsthand history from De'Aaron Fox on that game on Friday night. And Dave and I were talking about it on Monday that, we saw De'Aaron do it. We can believe he did it. And it wasn't even a sense of where he, hit 15 3-pointers or just some outlandish things. It was just kind of all of the parts of his game elevated. And it didn't seem like it was a stress on him or a burden. It just was a night where he really got it going. And to see him go for 60, followed by 49, even the game he had the other night, how do they get that great, amazing version of De'Aaron paired with, DeRozan and Sabonis when they all come back?
Well, I mean, you're not going to get that version every night because he took, 35 shots each night. And to be honest, you don't want to have to depend on one guy on your roster to get 35 shots. You need him to still get quality looks, but also not make him have to carry that big of a load, because the reality of it is De'Aaron is having a fantastic start to the season defensively as well. And we ran the numbers the other day in terms of kind of top 10 defensive guys by numbers. And by the way, Keegan, Domas, and De'Aaron were all on that list. So when you look at the return of both, Domas and DeMar, you don't want De'Aaron taking 35 shots. But I think the recipe for how he got those needs to stay the same, in the sense that in that game against Minnesota, there was a shift in terms of his focus on getting into the paint. And it was like a switch was flipped to me watching it, his mentality. Because De'Aaron started last year taking a ton of threes, high volume, and he shot the three well last year overall. He had some phases of the season where he struggled, but everybody does. But with his speed and his ability to, get by defenders and how successful he is in the paint, I don't know that I would prefer to see De'Aaron taking 10 threes a game. And in those games, Minnesota started with Minnesota, Utah. He is getting into the paint and what they're giving. And by the way, he did this while Domas and DeMar were not on the floor. So he's still getting double teamed. And this is something that when they're on the floor, defenses don't have the ability to double team him with the frequency. But I thought Mike Brown said something really, really interesting in the press conference prior to last game. He said the thing about De'Aaron is he needs to get what he wants when he wants, regardless of what the defense is giving you. And that, to me, was the difference that we're seeing in him the last few games. Because I think a lot of times we say, you got to take what the defense gives you. Yes, you do. But superstar players can get what they want regardless of what the defense is giving them. And to me, that's the difference I've seen in De'Aaron the last few games. Because not only is he getting downhill, but when they're taking away his left hand, he's able to come back to his right and score at a high level. And I'm still processing what we've seen from him the last few games, because to me, it's very, very different from a mentality standpoint.
Kayte Christensen joining us. I completely agree with you on De'Aaron, and I think just the efficiency, like you said, I do feel like this is a guy that could average 30 points and not really, he'll break a sweat, but I do think that's a realistic ceiling when he's on and when they figure out this offense. This was not that 60-point game, that follow-up 47. It wasn't like he wasn't forcing. He wasn't going out of his shell. It was just he gets to his spot and he hits it, and he gets to his spot and he hits it, and then he drives and he hits it, and then the occasional three. But let me ask you something else.
And there was a point. I'm going to interrupt you before your question just to kind of make the point you're making. There was a point in one of those games that, he was on a heater and they came down the floor. Someone brought the ball up the floor and they went to give it to De'Aaron, who had just crossed half court, and he pointed to the corner. He had them send the ball to the corner. They drew the defense, ended up getting a wide open three in the other corner. He's still, kind of the puppeteer out there from an offensive standpoint. He's not just, and I feel like he wasn't forcing the issue. He really was still playing within the team concept, which, you have to give him so much credit for.
Well, then I know that you and I have had conversations over the years, and we both agree that a foul is a foul and should be called a foul, regardless of if it's on or Orlando Johnson or Luka Doncic or against, I should say. That being said, the way, what I say, Orlando, I get that wrong? No.
Robinson.
Thank you. I thought I did. That being said, because the way the NBA is set up, do you think De'Aaron Fox is getting the whistle that De'Aaron Fox deserves?
For the most part, yeah. I think that each game kind of takes on a personality of its own when it comes to how it's being officiated. And to me, as long as it's fair on both ends of the floor, like, I'm okay with it. Every game, there's going to be a couple fouls that are not called, right? But I also feel like it evens out to a certain degree, because sometimes, he'll draw a foul where I'm like, oh, like, they gave him that one because it wasn't, to me, it wasn't egregious contact, or, you kind of got to break it down that way. But, like the end of that Atlanta game, that was a clean strip. That Dyson Daniels had a clean strip, and a disappointing way to lose the game. But also, I would rather have it in anybody's hands but De'Aaron, and for him to go to work doing exactly what, he's done so well pretty much his whole career.
Katie, I'm thinking also back to that last game, something pretty spectacular, unfortunately, in another loss, was Keon Ellis. We hadn't seen him shoot that many threes that effectively. He's always been a pretty good percentage guy, but it's nice to see this bench contributing more than it had at the start of the season. What do you see his kind of role with this team going forward for Keon Ellis?
Well, he's forcing the issue, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You go back to, I think it was game 2 or game 3 of the season where he registered a DNP, and it was his only DNP CD of the season. And then Mike Brown played him the next game, and he's basically forced the issue from that point on. And listen, I don't think that Mike not calling on him in that game was anything about a reflection on how Keon was playing or anything like that. It's the beginning of the season. There's new people on the roster. He went with Jordan McLaughlin in that game, and he needed to see what he can do as well and how he can use them and the groupings that he works well with. So I think that's just a product of, a new roster, new coaching staff, and trying to figure out rotations and things like that, and also give opportunity to some guys that you don't know that much about. But he had a fantastic game last year in Oklahoma City. And I forgot about this. I looked it up when he had gone 6 for 6, and I'm like, my goodness, what is this? It's got to be his career high. And I was shocked to look and see that his career high was 8 triples in OKC last April. And I had completely forgotten about that game. We know he's capable of this. My thing with Keon is he's becoming, when you have someone like Malik and Keon coming off the bench, like, what a luxury is that? And the bench production has been so low this season. And this is a bench that over the last couple of years have been one of the top bench scoring units in the league. So it's now you're seeing Keon develop, and he plays so well at both ends. You guys, defensively, I absolutely love to watch him. He does so many things so well, and it's just stuff, unless you're kind of watching him on a possession, that they just don't stand out. You don't see them. But like, I recognize these things and am in awe of those. The offense is a huge bonus to me, but to see him go off like he did the other night, it was really, really fantastic. And it came at a time where one of my keys to the game is like, the bench has to step up. They've been, depleted, and it was a rough start to the season for bench production. Malik had kind of a slow start in terms of efficiency, really. I mean, he's still, I think, scoring double digits he's averaging early in the season, but you need guys like Trey Lyles. You need guys like Keon. Those guys have to step up and carry a lot of that load in that second unit.
That's Kayte Christensen joining us, as she does each and every Wednesday. Katie, why was that funny? You what?
No, because I forgot it was Wednesday today. So
yes, we'll send you a candygram. Real quick, not sure if we're going to talk to you next week. I guess we will. But when will you be starting your Thanksgiving prep, and why was it a month ago?
No, not at all. I mean, we're on the road for Thanksgiving, and so we're going to do our Thanksgiving, I think, on Saturday. I mean, the day we get back we'll get back, I don't know, 2:00 in the morning on Saturday from LA, and do it then. And then we've got a game Monday, and then we leave. I think we leave on, I don't know. You guys are asking a lot for me. Yeah, we leave Tuesday because we play in Minnesota on Wednesday. So yeah, no, it's like, this is 2 years in a row that I'm missing Thanksgiving. So we're just going to do a family dinner at home and I'm not doing a turkey. The only thing that I'm doing that is my traditional Thanksgiving stuff is my dad's dressing that he makes, his stuffing, and we'll probably do steaks and just something simple on Saturday. But it'll be nice. I am Christmas decorating though already. So.
You're not doing a turkey?
No.
Why?
No, there's 5 of us. There's 5 of us. What are we gonna? You can't even. It would be easier to get like a chicken from Costco.
Yeah, you eat the turkey, the 5 of you, and then you have leftovers.
Okay, so no, my mother-in-law does not eat very much, and then I've got one kid that'll eat turkey, one kid that eats chicken nuggets. Like it's. Don't you judge me? I know how to feed my family.
Wow, all right. What are you going to do for Christmas? Tacos?
Ooh.
No, we have, a few days off before Christmas, I think, or 2. We'll do a full normal holiday meal. I'll actually be here for it.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy your sort of Thanksgiving on Saturday and enjoy your week. And thank you so much for joining us whenever that may be. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That's Kayte Christensen. Not a turkey.
I felt like you were being judgmental.
Yes. How do you not have a turkey for Thanksgiving? What is that?
Again, you're prepping one. We'll have, but it's overrated.
I agree with you.
So why, if everybody, I think a lot of people agree that turkey's overrated, yet we continue to do it.
Because when we came over and stole the land and gave all the Native Americans diseases, turkey was at the center of the whole thing. Probably not. I think it was like a goose or something.
No, it definitely was not.
Yeah, we need to keep a tradition that was made up by the corporations, Jason.
Oh, okay. Then now I get it.
Come on. By the way.
Yeah, Jason, capitalism.
Yeah.
Okay. I need a quick ruling before we go to break. I was trying to bring him on the air. He can't. So let me ask you, am I a good person or a bad person for sending Chris Verlaud repeated gifts of the movie A Perfect Storm?
You are, let me see how to say this. I'm not doing the good or bad. You are who you are sending it to appropriate.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Is that a fair way to say it?
That is 100% a fair way to say it. Guys, there is a bomb cyclone that is off the North Coast currently.
Is he going to need a bigger boat?
Dude, the amount of precipitation that is coming our way between now and Monday, let's just say for Sacramento, 4 to 6 inches, for where Chris is on the North Coast, 8 to 10 inches.
Whoa.
With massive, massive wind advisories. Flash, and I'm not being funny about this, there are legit flash flood warnings like this. They're literally calling it a bomb cyclone, and Chris is about to get on a boat and go crab fishing.
Is this when we, Dave, we finally get to batten down the hatches?
Yes, he's got to batten all the hatches down. I mean, look, and okay. So in the spirit of doing this, There's a Gordon Lightfoot. Nah, I don't want to joke about that.
Chris would.
I know he would, but the funny thing is, it's fun to joke with Chris, but then I'm going to get a letter about somebody saying I'm making fun of massive.
No, the danger is you have to do it on Monday, because if something does happen, you're going to feel awful.
I don't know if Dave will, but.
All right, I'm sending him Edmund Fitzgerald gifts. I don't even care. I'm doing it right.
I know what that means.
Poor Chris. That's.
Hey, Jason, do we have tickets?
Oh, yeah. Dave, before the break, we got a family 4-pack of tickets for the Causeway. It might be raining out there, too. Who knows? But you're going to have a great time as Sac State takes on UC Davis for the 70th Annual Causeway Classic. It's at Hornet Stadium, and we are giving you a chance to go to the game. Dave, let's take caller number
2.
To win the family 4-pack of tickets to go to the Causeway this weekend, UC Davis, Sacramento State, Hornet Stadium. Again, caller number 2 at 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. Get yourself to the Causeway Classic.
All right, and as we take a break, spare a thought for Chris Verlaud. We want him back.
alive.
I mean, yes, of course, but we also want that crab.
Yeah, get the job done and get back safely.
I wonder if crab fishing is any better or worse when there's bomb cyclones going on. Like, do the crabs even know? They don't know.
Animals always know.
Also, I'll say it again. It's one of my favorite questions. Do crab think fish are birds?
I don't know.
I mean, just how do they do that? How do the fish fly like that in the ocean? I don't know. I'm a crab.
And do they see horses?
Do they see horses? We'll take a break. When we come back, what the hell are we doing? Oh, how about last night in the NBA? What to watch? We got stuff to watch, and then we got a crosstalk with Alan Style. We'll do all that right after this.
Join Sacramento State football this Saturday at 2 for the Causeway Classic versus UC Davis. Get your tickets at HornetSports.com.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Toyota's Black Friday sales event ends soon. Take advantage of the biggest savings of the year and gear up for adventure in a legendary Toyota truck.
Ready, set, let's go.
Get $2,000 cash back on Tundra and Tundra Hybrid, or lease a Tacoma 4x4 for as low as $269 a month. The clock is ticking on Toyota's Black Friday sales event. Don't miss out. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium ready credit ends 12/2/24.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You guys are brutal. Is Chris Berlod currently rearranging deck chairs? Yeah. I wish I could share our text thread between he and I going on right now. I will not confirm that there are pictures of George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg with water up to their necks. And Chris literally just texted me. He said, I kind of hope it happens now just so you feel guilty.
Wow.
That's the beauty of Chris, is that
Chris, for the bit.
He would legit die for the bit, just knowing that he'd be haunting me. And what an ass of a ghost Chris would be too.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awful.
That would be the worst. Christopher Laud would be the worst one ever to haunt you, because he would just show up at all the worst. Think about the worst possible time he could show up. He would.
He haunts us already.
Mm-hmm.
Your TV would never turn off. It's just 2:30 a.m. Boom.
MacGruber.
Well, if you think about it, Christopher Laud being a ghost is perfect, because when you think about it, like, ghosts are basically dead trolls. Like, they just troll. That's what they do. They move stuff. They mess with you. They get in your head. All right. Well,
next one you got to send him is that the Titanic gif of them trying to break out of the door while the water's rising.
No, I sent him the one. I did send him the one of them playing the violins on the deck. Down. It's not funny, guys. Seriously.
Is he out there right now? Is everything?
He says he leaves tomorrow.
Oh.
So, but it's supposed to be worse tomorrow.
Oh, good. Fun.
That's the thing. You know what? As has often been said in many contexts, Jason, crabs are not worth all that. Okay.
Many contexts.
many contexts. All right. What to watch tonight, Jason? The Cavs on a back-to-back. They're not back home taking on the Pelicans, which for
not
us,
interested in them anymore. They lost.
No, they're done.
Yeah.
Could I interest you in the 2-11 76ers, fresh off of Tyrese Maxey going at Joel Embiid for being late to everything in a team meeting? They're taking on the Grizzlies in Memphis.
How far are they truly the league's worst team? Philly.
2-11. My goodness. Isn't that Nick Nurse?
That is. And, imagine, Philly's already obviously a very tough place to play. But when they have Embiid, they kept Maxey, and they added Paul George. I mean, the excitement going into the year had to be pretty high, right? I mean, you're thinking this is the time. This is the group that'll break through. And obviously they've had some injuries. They haven't had those guys all together, but 2-11 is disaster.
Is Paul George the Chris Paul of underachieving teams?
Yeah, that's well, I
He's
mean,
not as bad as Paul is good.
Yeah, by definition, could be deemed that the Clippers underachieved because they get Paul and Kawhi to win a title. But I mean, they won a lot of games.
Yeah.
But I know what your point is.
It's weird because they overachieved when he was on the Pacers, and then it's just been declining results ever since.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just, and I'll say it, this is just the collateral damage of having James Harden on your franchise.
It's done it to a few others.
He's like one of them. What are those bugs or whatever that eats the inside out of the caterpillar and then leaves the shell, but it's like a zombie and it keeps going. But he left and ate the inside. I feel like that's what's happened to the Sixers franchise. They just their insides have been eaten up, but they're just a zombie team now. At some point, you got to fire Nick Nurse if this keeps happening. I know he's not the one missing shots,
right,
but someone's got to go. Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know, is Joel Embiid available? I wouldn't mind him. Or maybe I would. God, I don't know.
You would.
I would. You're right. Okay, how about this? How about the new look Knicks at the Phoenix Suns?
Okay, I'm intrigued. The Knicks have finally gotten themselves above 500, and Phoenix is, I would say, spiraling. That's what's so nice about getting off to a 8-1 start. They're now 9-6 though. So,
well, you know what Phoenix is, Jason.
I do. You and I feel the same way.
Phoenix is 100% bull.
Whoa!
Wow. Sorry. Did I say that?
Got anything else?
Hawks at Warriors.
The first place Golden State Warriors in the West.
Against the Hawks, the King Killers.
King kind of.
Whatever the name of the Hawks arena is it Phillips Arena still? It's not, is it?
It can't be.
Because then we'd be Phillips Arena West. All right, what about this? What if we scout? How about we scout Clippers hosting the Magic?
Yeah, we got to scout the Clips, see what they're up to.
I hope we win that game. Says Dave, the Kings fan. That's
a cup game on Friday. We got to get back. If the Kings lose on Friday, they're out of the cup.
They're out.
And I want you engaged and interested in the cup all the way through.
Yeah, and just, can we just, I think weirdly enough, I think maybe the Clippers are my most hated team right now.
Oh, that's an interesting one. It's not the Warriors? Not the Lakers?
At least the Warriors play, I say this with a team that has Draymond Green on it, but at least they play semi-ethical basketball.
Yeah.
The Clippers are the Sixers of 2 years ago. And yeah, it's James. I just can't can we just shake hands and agree to a 2-2 split and just both go our separate ways and rest? It's not enjoyable basketball.
So you would sign up right now, knowing also they're down 0-1, but you would take a 2-2 split
100%.
if they said, I'm offering it. You don't have to know context. We'll just put stats in, and it's 2-2.
100%. Give everybody their averages. Give everybody their yearly averages for their numbers. And it's a 2-2 split, which means we'd win 2 or 3. Of course, I'd take that, but I would have taken that 2 weeks ago. And then take that instead of the Kings playing, give them off days and make them go read to kids or something.
Can they, of the 2 wins, can it be Friday, though, so that it's a cup win?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Can you imagine going into the weekend, not only losing to the Beard, but also you're out of the cup?
Yeah, that'd be awful. And then you have to wait a day, and then your guy comes in. You got to be going to the game on Sunday, aren't you? Brooklyn's in the house.
I don't know if I'm going to the game, but I can't confirm or deny a pregame offsite meal lunch.
Yeah, you'll talk to Ben about your turkey process and maybe have him over.
Well, the thing is, Ben is an Australian, so they don't do Thanksgiving down there. So we will be. I went out and purchased a Barbie, and we may throw a shrimp or 2 on it. And then at some point, he's going to look over at me and go, "That's not a knife. This is a knife." And then we'll talk about rebounding.
How? Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure. How old is your guy Ben now?
It's like 28.
20. Yep, there he is. 28. And he's probably been here, he's almost been here longer than there. Hasn't he adapted to have a Thanksgiving turkey?
Yeah, I don't even know when he moved here.
I don't either.
I remember he called me and said he was going to LSU. That was a big day for us.
That was.
It was huge.
You were wearing all your Tiger gear.
All my Tiger gear.
Yeah.
Still time to turn it around, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
The Ben Simmons reclamation project is in full swing.
Has he attempted a 3 this year?
I hope not.
Nope.
Yes.
That's not.
You know what? And how often do you get an NBA player that understands his limitations, Jason, and stays within himself? He is a team guy, that Ben Simmons. Yeah, he's going to be a fun king.
So he has no 3-pointers this year attempted.
No.
How many free throws do you think your guy Ben,
total
your foul merchant Ben Simmons has gotten this year?
Total. I'm going to say Ben Simmons has how many games?
Let me see. It looks like he's played 2,
13.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. I'm going to say Ben Simmons has attempted 12 free throws.
Yeah. Okay. So about 1 a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's attempted in those 11 games, 10 of them 0, and 1 of them 4. He was 3 for 4.
You know why? Because he's not a foul merchant. He plays ethical basketball.
Yeah. Ethical.
Well, I can't stand the Warriors TV broadcast crew, maybe Bob Fitzgerald, but I got to give, I think it was him. I think it was those guys that did this. It was actually a pretty good bit they had. They were playing the Clippers saying when James Harden was born, did he try to swing through the obstetrician's forearms to draw the foul? They're just doing a whole bit. It was just, and then Clipper fans got really, really mad. That's fine. All right, so we got that coming up tonight. What else, Jason Ross? Well, I guess crosstalk. That's what's coming up. We'll do We'll do a little crosstalk with Alan Style. How about some celebrity birthdays as well as we prepare you for Alan's show, taking you all the way till 2 p.m. right here with your good friends at Sacktown Sports.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness, But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Hey, we're getting closer, another day closer to the Causeway Classic. It'll be the 70th annual Causeway Classic this Saturday, as it's also Native American Heritage Day, and a salute to the seniors that are leaving the Sacramento State Hornet program. You can check out the game November 23rd, Saturday, as the Hornets take on UC Davis. Game time at Hornet Stadium, 2 o'clock. Tickets are on sale right now at hornetsports.com for the Causeway Classic. And remember, Stingers up.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, and other offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With wet weather here, you're probably going to play a few rounds in the rain, so keep a few things in mind in those wet conditions. The ball probably won't go as far because you'll get little, if any, run out. If you tend to hit the ball low, maybe think about adjusting the loft of your driver to carry the ball farther. And when you get to the short clubs on the wet ground, your wedge can have a tendency to dig into the turf, so focus on hitting the ball first. And if you occasionally spin the ball back on the greens, expect more of that to happen when they're wet. Now, all of this assumes that you're ready to play in the rain. You own waterproof shoes and rain gear, rain gloves, which work best when wet, and an extra towel to keep everything else dry. But the most important thing you should bring to the first tee is a positive attitude. I found some of my most memorable rounds have been played in the rain. Overcoming the conditions to enjoy yourself while possibly shooting a good score makes for a great day. And remember, golf is a game, even in the rain. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
We are finishing the year strong by stocking up on new heavy-duty Ram trucks with over 300 available. And with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP, your perfect Ram truck is waiting at Hoblet.
That's some pretty big savings on those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmans after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet select inventory coupons, 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 5 of this net savings, see dealer for details. Sample VIN 238277.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah. And Alan Styles.
That's right. He's here. He's ready.
Alan Styles getting his headphones on. Good morning, Alan. Nope.
Hello?
There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Trying to mute me.
I got one question for you, Alan, and one question only.
Oh, no.
Are you ready for the atmospheric river? Are you ready for the bomb cyclone that's about to hit?
I hate rain. I hate it.
Wow.
And I hate it.
Why?
How are we gonna drive to the studio?
You drive through the rain?
Can you stand the rain?
Do you
I blame it
on the rain? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm singing in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Missy Elliott can't stand the rain.
These raindrops keep falling on my head.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think, Dave, maybe I don't know if your oldest was watching Hey Arnold, but I feel like without Verlad here, I have no one in my time frame, which is crazy.
What's Hey Arnold?
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
I know what it is, but
there was a song and there was a mailman, and it was the dumbest song ever. And it was snowing, and his song was, "I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the rain, and I hate the snow." And he would just sing that while he delivered mail
all day long.
All day long.
Let's also clip that up, Kyle, please. Just let's please clip that up.
The text line or listening in their car knows exactly what I'm talking about. Where are my millennials at, huh?
Were you a Yo Gabba Gabba guy at all?
No.
Wow.
I think that's after me.
I was not a Yo Gabba Gabba guy either, so I don't know what generation that is.
Yeah, I don't know what.
That was my kids. My kids growing up, it was Yo Gabba Gabba, that stupid bastard Caillou. I hated that. Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Kind of all that. No? Nobody.
What did you say, Dave? Sorry, my head.
Hey, you were probably you were Rugrats?
Rugrats for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Rugrats. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Nickelodeon when it was Nickelodeon.
So Nickelodeon before it got bought by CBS.
Yes. The real slime, not that new slime.
Well, that's a generational thing, because in Jason's and my days, we basically just had cartoons that were meant to sell action figures, and we liked it.
Yeah.
Action figures and cigarettes.
Yeah, they went together like hand in hand.
Doug Funny. Love Doug. Big Doug guy. I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the rain, and I hate the snow. And I really just bonded with that song. Yeah. You know?
I could tell.
All right. Well, nothing bonds you and celebrity birthdays more than crumble cookies. Yeah, bringing family and friends together, whether you hate the rain, you hate the rain, you hate the rain, or you hate the snow. Crumble cookies are where it's at. Jason Ross.
Let's start with on this day, which is November 20th, the movie Blind Side. What year did that come out?
Interesting.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Ooh, Blind Side. Let's see.
You're close.
Yeah, right on it.
Yep.
Blind Side would be 2004.
Yeah, I think you're close. I'm going to say 06.
I'll go 05.
Alan's closest, 2009.
Wow.
Happy birthday to, well, I guess he's still our current president, Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden.
Somebody should know this.
Joe Biden.
Let's see.
Wow.
Sorry. Joe Biden is 80.
I don't know.
77.
Yeah, 78.
Carmichael Dave's closest. He is 82 today.
Yeah. I wanted to go higher.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
That's
old.
jarring.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I hate this stuff.
Let's see if the chat line can absolutely not react in any way whatsoever to that last birthday. Just as a fun little exercise. Let's see if we can just roll through it.
I hate the snow. I hate the rain, and I hate the snow.
Next up.
Happy birthday, Carlos Boozer.
Ah.
Well, he's got 18-year-old twins.
Yeah, who are apparently nasty.
What? Carlos Boozer.
Has nasty kids.
That was nasty.
Go
ahead.
No, I was just going to say in baseball, when a pitcher would, ball in the dirt, he swings. Take a shower. You're filthy.
Carlos Boozer's 47.
43.
Yeah. 46.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Kyle Ledbetter. 43 for Carlos Boozer.
Wow. Yeah. 02 draft class.
Speaking of pitchers that are nasty, filthy, Tariq or Tariq?
Tarek Skubal.
Tarek Skubal, Cy Young Award winner to be. Most underrated player in baseball, Tarek Skubal, is 27.
29.
26.
We have a tie. 28.
28. Damn it.
28. Happy birthday to, you guys should get this one. At least have a good idea. Grady Dick.
Okay. Well,
he's nasty.
Grady Dick. Grady is, I'll say Grady
That's his third
is
name.
24.
No way. There's no way he's that old. He's 22 or 23. He was a G Leaguer, right?
Yeah, for 40 games.
22.
No, he's 21 today.
We have a correct answer. It goes to Kyle Ledbetter. He's 21.
I know, Gen Z.
Yeah.
21 today. I'm
Happy birthday to former NFL receiver Joey Galloway.
Ooh, Ohio State.
Ohio
Is he
State.
still on ESPN?
Yeah,
Still on
he's
ESPN.
a college football guy.
Joey Galloway is 44.
He could be anything.
He can be anything he wants to.
Yeah, I'm going to say
be a
40, 49.
Let's go 45.
Alan is closest, 53.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's good.
Happy birthday to Joel McHale.
Community.
Yeah, Community and The Soup and a ton of things.
And every D-list game show.
Yes.
Joel McHale is 54.
52.
55.
We have a tie again, Alan and Dave, 53.
Ooh.
And we'll finish with this one. I wonder if you guys know who it is, you two, but Bo Derek.
Oh, yeah.
A 10.
Braids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo Derek.
Bo Derek is the full name?
Bo Derek.
Huh.
Wait, who is Bo? Kyle, tell us who Bo Derek is.
Bo Derek is an actor.
Yes, he is.
Oh, wow, I got that right. Wow.
You're right so far. He's an actor.
What was he in?
Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay.
Close. Not bad.
I just remember from VH1 shows, reality shows.
Bo Derek,
Yeah.
Oh, so that was a little too old.
Yep, he had a great career. Some would say his career was not an 8, not a 9, but a perfect 10.
10, yeah, that's right.
Bo Derek is 73.
70 on the nose.
69.
Ironically, Kyle is the closest. She is 68.
Jesus. We should have let Kyle go first.
Yeah. Well, he was only one off.
Yeah.
I thought that was a man. Apologies.
That's all right.
Alan, what's coming up on the Alan Style Showgram?
Jake Gaden joins us in the 11 o'clock hour, and we discuss Dalton Connect, Jared McCain. Yeah. Did the Kings make the right pick with Devin Carter and the tail of the tape between Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox? And we'll throw Sabonis in there, too, because that's why Tyrese isn't here. All coming up next.
Alan, did you see, just doing some show prep with you, did you see the Ringers rankings?
Of the top 100 players.
They did another one?
Yeah.
Just
Or
today.
Or a refreshed one?
Yeah.
I highly suggest you do a quick search of that before your segment on those 3 players. I think it might make you smile.
Oh, no. All right. Hey,
4.
thanks.
4. Coach Tim Plough. 4. Kayte Christensen. 4. Kyle Ledbetter. And the great Jason W. Ross. Alan Styles is next right here in your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports. Bye now.
I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the rain, and I hate the snow.
1140 Sacramento. On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports